Hello and welcome to the YMCA Aquatic Center in Orlando, Florida. Mike Kennedy along with David Van Buskirk broadcasting live the Florida High School Athletic State Championship for swimming. This is going to be Class 2A, and we'll be broadcasting live this evening for the FHSAA network. And so my trusty sidekick, Mike Kennedy. And Mike, welcome, my friend.
Dave Van Buskirk, how are you, sir?
We're doing great.
I can't tell you in my preparation for being here this evening how excited I am for State High School Championship swimming. Cold chills already.
I know. We're going to get everything underway started tonight, Mike. And I tell you, it was some fast swimming earlier today, and it's going to be some fast swimming tonight. And we're going to kick everything off with event number 1, the girls 200-yard medley relay. And Mike, we've got about 8 minutes.
We are swimming short course yards. For anybody just tuning in to this high school season. But as we're here indoors on the iDrive facility here in beautiful Orlando, Florida.
That's right. We're here at the Aquatic Center. And they actually renovated last year. Spent close to $1 million in renovations.
Was it that much? You can really tell there's lots of, obviously, paint, cosmetics, some tile work, some roof work in here. Definitely took an older facility and updated it, brought it a little bit forward here. And it's still one of the marquee places that's not a college pool to have a swim meet out here in Florida, let alone Central Florida.
And they're also going to be excited this year because they're going to be able to host at this facility a Grand Prix later on in the year.
Is that similar to what has been in Indianapolis the last couple years?
You're exactly right.
I know that's big business for them in Indianapolis. So I'll look forward to that. I have not attended a Grand Prix myself before. I've watched some online, obviously, and on television with the other networks. But so we're here as the FHSAA network.
That's exactly right. Broadcasting live, in fact, all these state championship meets. And we had diving earlier today. And
Did you get to see some of that?
I did. We were able to watch some of that live. We were streaming that live. And also we were able to catch tonight the swimming. Now, swimming prelims were going on earlier today. And Mike, they went all the way up to 2 o'clock, and you'd be amazed at some of the swim-offs we had today.
Did it last till 2 o'clock?
It did. So
wow.
we had a lot of swim-offs today. In fact, we had one in very close race, and it came down to just mere hundredths of a second separation. And when they finished off, you could tell one of the swimmers were somewhat disappointed when they got out of the pool.
Yeah, because those swim-offs only happen if you're swimming for 8th spot or 16th spot. Otherwise, it's really not that important. You'll swim it off later at night. So that's heartbreaking when you're swimming off for 8th because somebody's going to be in the A final and someone's not. Or someone's going to be in finals at all, or someone's not.
And so now some of the times that we broadcast, that we'll be showing to you live tonight are going to be unofficial times because there might be somebody that be disqualified. So the times we'll be showing are not the official times.
So we're not connected into the official headsets down there or anything?
No, unfortunately.
When they raise their hand down the deck, they won't be telling us what they've decided or seen? Well, that's good probably anyways.
That's right. So, but one thing to kind of note, and we've seen it actually happen last year, is if you were in the consolation round, but your time was one of the fastest up there in the finals, in the A round, it's still considered a consolation time.
You can do no better than 9th if you're in that consolation final. Well, Dave, they've sung the national anthem. We're mere seconds away from getting started in this 2A state championship on FHSAA network. And like you said, we're starting with event 1, the girls 200-yard medley relay.
Mike, go ahead and tell us who's set up in the pool tonight.
We're going to start with the B final tonight, so you'll get an announcement for the A finals. These will be, first you're going to see the consolation and then the championship. So here we go, Heat 1's B final. Lane 1, which will be the left-hand side of your screen, or the left-hand side of the screen there, it's Choctawhatchee in lane 1, Mosley in lane 2, Sebastian River in 3, Gainesville in 4, Pace in 5, Creekside in 6, CHS, I'll just see who that is for us there, in 7, and Pompano Beach in lane 8, all the way out to the far right side of your screen there. And a shush is given for the starters from the in-house announcer. And as this is a medley relay, you're going to see back, breast, butter, and free. In that order, they're each doing a 50. And out fast is Choctawhatchee, because it's fun to say in lane 1.
But also making a quick move there, Mike, is only in lane 5. That's going to be Pace High School.
Yeah, and they are your leader.
And they're going to push
setting the
off
pace.
the wall. That's exactly right.
That was far too easy this early in the meet.
And right behind them in lane 4 will be Gainesville. All the way on the far left-hand side, though, over is Choctawhatchee High School in lane 1.
See who has the breaststroker here, because they're going to go in 3 together. And Pace, Choctawhatchee, and Gainesville. 27, 76, 83, and 89. That's close.
And right now, Gainesville has now made a move, Mike, here on the breaststroke, and they're going to now take the lead. Pace will drop to second, but here comes Choctawhatchee over in lane 1.
Gainesville got the purple canes written on the cap there. And she is your breaststroker, David. She's going to go out to a full body length lead, maybe more, with now a challenge coming from Mosley for second there in lane 2.
Gainesville's going to push in right now at 55.50. Right behind them with a 101.80 is going to be Pace, and Choctawhatchee High School is holding that second position with a 101.37.
I'm going to say that's Choctawhatchee. No? Choctawhatchee.
Choctawhatchee.
Okay.
Class of 87, my friend.
Really? You can't call any more of this race then. So the Gainesville lead continues in the butterfly, from the breaststroke leg. They'll give it to the freestyler first, but Pace takes a great start off.
They do. They had a great job there, but it's going to be an oh-so-close race. In lane 4 is going to be Gainesville. Right there with them is going to be Pace.
What is the Choctawhatchee mascot?
The Indians.
The Indians.
And holding third right now is going, looks like that's going to be Sebastian River. Now's making the move for third, and also now making a hard charge for second. But here comes Mosley over in lane 2, Mike.
It's going to be Gainesville in this consolation final taking first, which gets them ninth. With that 153.73. Second is going to go to Sebastian with a 154.86. And third, 154.96 goes to Mosley. This will be a test of the old eyeglasses right here tonight.
You're exactly right. Well, Mike, that's going to bring us now to Heat 2. This is going to be the A final.
Yes, sir.
Let's see if we can get a race set. On the left-hand side is going to be in lane 1, Lakewood Ranch. Washington High School sitting in lane 2. It'll be Gulf Coast in 3, Charles in 4, Suncoast in lane 5, Osceola in 6, and Ponte Verde in lane 7, and Holy Names in lane 8.
Now that one I actually do know. Lane 7 is Ponte Vedra.
Ponte Vedra.
Ponte Vedra, just south of Jacksonville, home of the Players' Championship, TPC Sawgrass. As the in-house announcer is giving the enthusiastic announcement to the crowds here. I'm seeing swimmers walking by downstairs with flowers and got their jackets on, getting warm. It's a little cool here in Florida. Surprisingly cool for this early in the fall. The backstrokers are jumping in, and they'll be ready to start here. Again, on the left-hand side of the screen, Lakewood Ranch in 1, Washington in 2, Gulf Coast 3, Childs 4, Suncoast 5, Osceola 6, Ponte Vedra in 7, and Holy Names in lane 8, the far right-hand side of your screen. Big high start there
and they're
in lane 5 for Suncoast. She got up out of the water. Out fast right now, though, does look to be Gulf Coast in 3, as they're the first to make the turn in the backstroke.
And going out to an early lead right there is going to be lane 3, Gulf Coast, Mike. Gulf Coast actually has
Gulf
the
Coast
backstroker.
and Suncoast. All coasts right now. Right at the middle of Childs in between them, as the 3 breaststrokers will battle it out there in the middle of the pool. I believe that Suncoast is making up some room on Gulf Coast, but Gulf Coast still leads halfway through this breaststroke leg. Big pull out from Suncoast. And Childs is coming right up the middle still. What do you think, Dave? Will Gulf Coast and Suncoast be still 1-2 at the wall here?
It's going to be interesting. I think they're all going to be so close. Let's see, 57.05 is going to be Gulf Coast, and 57.56 they're going to say that's Suncoast. Oh, so close race. Now we go over to Butterfly. But here comes a move here.
Childs.
In lane 4, Childs.
What an underwater move for Childs.
And Childs is going to push off, Mike, and they're going to be our new leaders. Anchor legs now up on the blocks. And Childs is going to go in first with a 123.22, holding second with a 124.39. It's going to be Gulf Coast, and 124.53 will be Suncoast.
Childs is holding on to now a full body length lead over the Gulf Coast Suncoast battle. continuing on either side of them. We're in a full winged V here now, Dave.
You're exactly right. And congratulations to Childs. 146.96 to take first. Gulf Coast will take second with a 148.61, and Suncoast will touch third with a 149.14.
And that's our first state championship of the year here in swimming.
Exactly
just
right.
Out right there. And the women's 200-yard medley relay. We'll move on to event 2 now. The boys 200-yard medley relay. First heat now will be the B final again, the consolation final. And we're set up right now to have Lakewood in lane 1, Titusville in 2, Bartram Trail in 3, Lando Lakes in 4, CHS in 5, Cape Coral in 6, Childs in 7, and Gulf Coast in lane 8. I see some lasers out there, Dave, some fast skin threes. Everybody's got their technical suits on, trying to shave whatever time they can here. As the backstrokers jump in, same thing for the boys. We're going to go back breast, fly free. This is the consolation final. Best anyone can do here win this is get 9th. No matter how fast they go, like Dave said, if they go faster than the championship relay team, they still can't move up into that next heat. You had to do it this morning.
And we are off. Mike looks like going out to an early lead. Is going to pop up first, going to be lane 4. That's going to be CHS.
This place is packed, Dave.
But, man, here comes Cape Coral over in lane 6.
Literally to the rafters. Parents are stacked up in the bleachers here. And you're absolutely right now. Lane 5, CHS. And now the battle's coming from Childs in 7. I think it's Childs is going to touch with a 24.56, just ahead of CHS 24.62 in that opening 50 back. Got some outside speed coming in lane 1 as well. Now lane 8 in this breaststroke leg, which is going to be Gulf Coast, is moving to the spot, but they're all chasing Lando Lakes.
And Lando Lakes right there in the middle of the screen. They're going to be the first to transition. Mike, they're going to do so with a 52.35 transition time to be first in the water. But here comes lane 1. That's going to be Lakewood.
Breaststroke's the answer here, though.
And also Gulf Coast in top of your screen over in lane 8.
Call that outside burners right there, where you got lane 1 and lane 8 trying to catch up with the Lando Lakes in the lead.
And Lando Lakes is first going to be the ones to transition with a 1:18.04 transition time. Right behind them with a 1:18.40 is going to be Lakewood.
There are 6 racers right now within 1 body length of each other.
And Mike is down to the final 25-yard push here. It's still everybody chancing Lando Lakes, and over in lane 4.
Watch Lakewood.
Gold Coast over in top.
You're absolutely right, Dave.
In lane 8. And it's going to be Lando Lakes with a 141.63, taking second with a time of 141.72 is going to be Titusville, and third will be Gulf Coast with a 141.93.
Which will bring us to Heat 2, our A final or championship final in this men's 200-yard medley relay. They get the music pumped up. They're not parading the swimmers. Here we go. Lane 1 is going to be Suncoast, 2 Mitchell, 3 Mosley, 4 Gainesville, 5 is Belen Jesuit, 6 Lakewood Ranch, 7 Washington, and 8 Jesuit. Some big boys across the water there as they get ready. Those backstrokers are prepped as they get their in-house announcing out of the way. Get the whistles here now and get those backstrokers in the water and award ourselves another championship on this FHSAA championship on FHSAA Network. Class 2A championship finals. These are finals. Prelims were this morning. Everybody's set up for finals and quiet in the house as they take their mark. And the backstrokers are off in the water here. Big start in lane 1 for Suncoast. Huge underwater though in lane 4 for Gainesville. He stayed underwater half the pool. And I believe it earned him a little bit of a lead there at the 25. And he stayed, look at that, Dave.
Yep.
Long underwater again, almost half the pool. And going right with him on the underwater is Belen Jesuit.
Yep.
And that's enough to get them second, I believe, right now.
23.63 is when Gainesville's first going to be touching the wall, right behind Belen Jesuit with a 24.46.
I bet, and I didn't see the prelims this morning, but I bet we'll be seeing that backstroker in the backstroke 100 later. 100 backstroke. But here comes the breaststrokers, and it's evened up. There's about 3 swimmers there between Mitchell, Mosley, and Gainesville in lanes 2, 3, and 4. I believe Mosley's going to have the lead as they go into touch with a 50-50, just 1500ths ahead of Mitchell.
And right behind him with a 50-65 was Mitchell. 51-24 was Gainesville. And here we go, Mike. Obviously, Mosley has the butterflyer as he now takes a full body length lead.
That's absolutely right. There's some ground being made up, though, in 5 by Boleyn Jesuit to get them back into 4th spot right now.
And also, here comes a hard move in lane 4. He's going to be Gainesville, now making a move for that 2nd position, and now trying to catch into Mosley in 3.
Boleyn Jesuit is pushing hard, as is Gainesville.
And it's going to be Mosley takes first with a 136.05. Second is going to be Gainesville with a 136.53. And Boleyn Jesuit's going to take third with a 136.54.
More than 2 seconds drop from this morning's prelim to win it. Mosley is your state championship. And now we get into some individual events. The women are behind the blocks for event 3, girls 200 yards freestyle. And we are going to have the B final first, which is the consolation final. And I'll tell you who we have here. In lane 1 on the left-hand side of your screen, we're going to have Allie Lombardi of Chiles, Chloe Adams, I believe that's Fort Lauderdale? I don't know who that is there, but Michaela Ayers of Chiles is in 3. Hannah Burge is in lane 4. Kirsten Harmerling from CHS is in 5. Peyton Brault is in lane 6. Suncoast Daniela Vega is in 7. And Alexis Diaz is in lane 8, far right-hand side of your screen.
And Mike going out to an early lead. Looks like it's going to be lane 5. Harmeling. But here also is going to be Burge, Hannah Burge in 4. She's probably going to be the first to push off the close wall to us here, Mike. And let's see what happens at the 50.
Setting the pace right now, Dave.
And at the 50, it's going to be Burge with the lead with a 26.61. Right behind her with a 27.70 is going to be Ayers. And then 27.39 is going to be Vega.
The state record in this event, a 145.37, is just a couple years old from Lauren Driscoll.
That's right.
And these prelim time for Hannah Burge, our top qualifier in this race, is about 9 seconds away from that. But we do have CeCe Williams coming up in the championship final, only 3 seconds away from it.
55.69. Still, it's going to be Burge, your leader. But here comes lane 5, Harmeling. And Harmeling, Mike, here at the 150 might be our new leader.
She's pushing her. We'll see at the flip. You got it, Dave.
So Harmeling
125.47.
And right behind her is going to be Burge with a 125.71. And go up one more to lane 6. Briault, Peyton Briault. And here they go, Mike. They go underneath the flag. Still, it's going to be Harmeling, the one everybody's trying to chase. But here comes Burge. Let's see what happens. They go underneath the flags, and Burge is going to take first with a time of 154.54. Second is going to be Brault with a time of 155.02. And 155.04, that time's going to go to Harmeling, holding third.
This is where you get the heartbreak, Dave, because 154.54 would have been enough to get her in our A final this morning. But now it's good enough for ninth. And here comes the championship final, which is Heat 2, our A final. Kendall Brent from Fort Myers is in lane 1. Alexandria Whitman is in lane 2. Macy Arnold in lane 3. Chiles' very own CeCe Williams in 4. Danielle Valley from Lakewood Ranches is in 5. Megan Halla is in lane 6. Gulf Coast's Avery Mooring is in 7. And Lakewood's Rebecca Howfast is in lane 8, or the right-hand side of your screen. CeCe Williams getting the announcement in the house here. She is the fastest qualifier this morning by a little over a second. And like I said before, she's less than 3 seconds from that state record of 145.37. The national record is 142.81 and is just over 4 years old, with Dagny Knutson holding that national record out of Minot. I believe that is South Dakota.
And they're going to whistle him up to the blocks. And Mike, we're getting ready to get everything underway.
We are. We're going to see a very fast 200 free, and someone is going to be a state individual champion for the first time tonight.
Everybody's somewhat tense. They said take your mark, and they stood everybody back up.
And usually we get somebody to fall in the water when that happens because of the hair trigger, but with the 200 being a controlled distance sprint, as Cece right now is going out fast in 4.
She is, and so is Danielle Valley right there with her in lane 5.
She's not going to let Cece get away easily.
No, Macy
Those are your
Arnold.
2 top qualifiers, bro, over 3 seconds.
Macy Arnold was right there with them along with Megan Hala.
Yeah, Macy Arnold apparently is not going to let them get away easily in this opening 100.
25.55 is going to be Cece Williams. Right behind her with a 25.93 is going to be Valley, and Arnold with a 25.98. That's how they're doing, 1, 2, 3.
They are starting to stretch out a little bit, but Kendall Brent from Fort Myers here in lane 1 is trying to let him stay, keep him within a body length right now as she's kicking and swimming feverishly. But Cece Williams has probably got about an arm's length lead right now with a 52.85, 4/10 ahead of Danielle Valley's 53.25.
And Cece's still going to be your leader. She's pulling just away, about a half a body length lead, Mike. As she pushes off here, we'll have some 150 splits coming up.
Running third right now, though, is a battle between Kendall Brent and Megan Hala, 1 and 6.
119.98 is going to be Cece Williams. 121.12 is going to be Danielle Valley.
So Danielle's lost a little ground there. Letting her get away from 4/10 now out to a little over a second. And now it's a full body length, Dave.
And Cece is going to be the first to go underneath the flags, Mike.
And there's the national record. There's the state record.
And there goes Cece Williams right now taking
state
first.
Champion.
147.54. Right behind her is going to be Danielle Valley with a 148.97. And touching third will be Macy Arnold, 151.70.
So Cece Williams is your state champion. The first individual championship given out tonight as the men step up to the B final. Event 4, boys 200-yard freestyle. Like we said, heat 1 will be the B final. We're going to have Naples' very own Sean Lamari in lane 1. Alexander Sparble in 2. Eric Ordaz in lane 3. William Pisani from Suncoast in 4. Lakewood's Noah Haraz in 5. Calvin Bryant is in lane 6. Lakewood Ranch's Luke Hanner is in lane 7. And Stephen Mount is in lane 8. That's the right-hand side of your screen. Lane 1 on the left, lane 8 all the way out to the right. 200 free consolation. Big Alexander Sparble senior there in lane 2.
Wow, going out to an early lead. Looks like it's going to be lane 5. Haraz. And Haraz is right there with him, Pisani, over in 4. And I think Pisani might have got him off the wall, but also making a hard charge is going to be Calvin Bryant all the way in lane 6.
Yeah, and Sean Lamari, too, has got a feverish pace. He's kicking up there in lane 1, trying to stay involved in this race.
Pisani's going to flip first, 23.86. Right behind him with a 24.24 is going to be Haraz. And then Eric Ordaz, 24.75. And also with him is going to be Calvin Bryant, 24.34.
Continuing a long lead-out train right now is William Pisani, but a whole host of swimmers, maybe 5 or 6, are not letting him get away right now.
Pisani's still holding the lead, Mike, at the 100 with a 50.22.
Keeping him within that one body length. Within a single body length, the first 4 swimmers. As they go back to touch the 150 mark. And give us our final split.
And 116.90 is going to be Pisani. Right behind him with a 117.22 is going to be Haraz. And a 117.51 is going to be Calvin Bryant.
And here comes Haraz.
You're right, exactly right.
He's going to be your leader with 25 sprint left. Who's going to turn it up? It looks like Pisani may be picking it up, but Haraz is just long stroking him away like he's finishing a mile here.
And Haraz is going to take first with a 142.84, taking second with a time of 143.48 is going to be Pisani, and third is going to be Calvin Bryant with a 144 flat.
Which will bring us the music up as the A final, the championship final, gets brought up to the blocks. Mosley's very own Jonathan Ratliff in lane 1. Gainesville's Max Bungert in 2. Julian Ballestas is in 3. Alex Daner from Childs is in 4. Fort Myers' Logan Samuelson is in 5. Lance Rutkin is in 6. Michael Missouri from Fort Myers is in 7. And I believe that might be, I don't know, I can't tell what that is, what school that is. PJ Dunn, senior, out in lane 8 as they clear the pool.
And I tell you, the announcer, he's getting everybody fired up today.
They're getting excited in here. And now it's time to swim. Eight laps, gets us 200 yards, and one more individual champion here tonight. And right now, I'd have to say the fastest 25 went out to Julian Ballestas in lane 3 there. See if he holds that lead at the opening 50 where we get the first wall split.
Well, that's just 22.89. Right behind him with a 23.59 is going to be Alex Daner.
Well, there's a 23.27 split. PJ Dunn, top of your screen, lane
right.
8. Outside speed there.
And Dunn, I think, is going to have second. Also with him is going to be Missouri.
But Ballestas is setting a fast pace as he's going to go out to almost a half body length lead. And he was the 3rd fastest qualifier this morning, so.
47.32 is going to be Ballestas.
It's now going to be up to Alex Daner to try and back half this event if he wants to pull Ballestas in.
And Mike, here comes lane 7 and 8, Missouri and Dunn. They're trying to make a move now on Ballestas.
Yeah, Missouri and Dunn is who it's going to have to come down to, because they're the only ones with even within a body length right now of Ballestas, because Julian is pulling away here.
And also making a move now is Missouri over in lane 7.
I'm going to go ahead and say that the record might be in touch here. No, it's not. He'd have to do a 21 to come back. So, no, I'm sorry. I was doing bad math there. But still, a very fast swim is underway here.
And Ballestas is going to go underneath the flags, Mike, and he's going to take first with a 138.10. Second is going to be Daner with a time of 140.06. And touching third is going to be Rutkin, Lance Rutkin, with a time of 140.09.
138.10. How fast is that?
Well, Mike,
and
guess
a
what?
Championship.
Time for us to move over now to event number 5.
Which is the girls' 200-yard individual medley. A little bit different order than the medley relay. But let's get you set up here as we're going to have. No, there's no girls behind the blocks for me right now.
You know what?
We're going to do some awards, I bet. Maybe they're going to put some medals on some people. Okay. Okay.
And Mike, we've had some fast races. We've had some fast races.
So we've had 4 championships already.
Can
2
you believe
relays,
this?
men and women, 2 individuals in the 200 free.
And so Mike, and here we go. They're going to make some announcements on who's.
We'll get you some shots of that. So they're announcing the individual names in a relay, which we don't have here. Gulf Coast Swimming takes the silver. As they step up there and collect their silver medals for being second.
You know, it's great relays. It's, you know, it's probably one of Mike the most fun thing to do because it's something that you include all your teammates in doing.
Absolutely.
Swimming is almost like it's really an individual sport, but during relays, you all get together and.
Well, my favorite thing about that is when you see kids swim a speed in a relay that they don't do individually because they're pumped up. That shows me a lot of heart for a kid when they can get out there and they don't want to let their team down. And there goes Childs stepping up to get their gold medals in their state championship.
Thank you.
Some bright, shiny shoes they have on there we can't show you because of the crowd, but.
Thank you very much for tuning in to FHSAA Network. Mike Kennedy along with David Van Buskirk. This is going to be Florida State Championship Class 2A. And Mike, we've talked about relay. Let's talk about now for the girls. We're going to now bring up the boys 200 medley relay winners.
Boleyn Jesuit is the bronze medal as they step up there.
And there they are. Congratulations to those 4 young men.
Comes Gainesville Swimming collecting their silver.
And the gold, the state title, going to Mosley High School of Lynn Haven, Michael Whitehead.
Here comes Mosley to step up and take their state championship.
I hope they can get everybody up there.
Yeah, it's a different podium than they've done in recent years.
And there's Mosley High School.
Lots of hugs around for everyone there as they gather in for the shot and the pictures. Gotta love being a state champion.
Up in the Panhandle of Florida.
Lynn Haven, did they say?
Yeah, we're next to Panama City, so right outside of.
And where is Choctawhatchee?
Fort Walton Beach.
Nice. Did you say class of 87?
Okay, we'll just stay.
Is that what you said?
I'll just stay on focus.
You're spry, young man.
Well, Mike, we talked about the relays. Let's talk about the individual events. Now we'll move over to event number 3. This is the girls' 200-yard freestyle winners.
On the ladies' 200 freestyle, our first individual event.
Gonna get to see Cece Williams with the gold here, but unbelievable swim. Macy Arnold was the 3rd seed, and she got 3rd with the bronze out of Martin County High School. Great facility there in Port St. Lucie.
It looks like Danielle Arnold, congratulations. She ended up taking 2nd, the silver.
Danielle Valley.
Oh, Valley, I apologize.
Macy Arnold was 3rd. You get to see CC year-round swimming, of course, for attack.
Yep.
It's a name you know.
But tonight,
great swimmer.
Tonight she is
Childs.
Swimmer for Childs.
State champion. Fun to see. I'm
All right.
a little jealous, Dave. I was never a state champion in anything.
I hear you. Neither was I, so.
My high school didn't have any awards for being annoying.
Brings us now over to the boys 200 freestyle.
This is where we saw Julian Ballestas
That's right.
come out of nowhere in lane
You're
3
exactly
as the 3rd seed. Lance Rutkin being announced for the bronze. Senior from Fort Lauderdale as he steps up. Alex Daner taking second as the child swimmer there. Continues the awards. It's a good shot there of Lance Rutkin on your right and Alex Daner on the left there. Shaking hands, that's great to see. And Julian Ballestas is scheduled to appear and get his gold. Is he big leaguing us? He might be signing autographs or still be caught up in the media tent we have behind us here.
It also might be, we now are getting ready to move over to the IMs, so he also might be swimming the IMs.
Could be warming down right now.
Yep.
Here he comes.
There
Getting
he
his
is.
shirt on. I see someone running, putting on his shirt. Coming out of Fort Myers. Well, it says Fort Myers here. I'm sorry,
There
no,
he
Belen
goes.
Jesuit. Belen Jesuit, I'm sorry. Julian Ballestas from Belen Jesuit. He's got the right shirt on. He knows what he's doing. And that's a state champion right there in the middle of your screen. So that's going to be our champions right there.
Yep.
And we're done. When we get back to swimming, we're going to have individual medleys coming up. 200
You're exactly
individual
right.
medleys. Dave, I was wondering, in our planning here and all of the broadcast equipment, the 50s are coming up. Do we have a defibrillator on hand? I didn't see a defibrillator in the booth, and I'm going to need one because I'm already getting a little excited because we've got the 2 IMs and then 50 frees coming up. So is there any net here to catch me if I were to go over the fence?
I hope not, my friend.
Okay, because I want to make sure the net is weight rated for me if there's one there. Hope nobody standing below could get hurt. Yeah, somebody could get hurt. So we're broadcasting live on the FHSAA network. Right here from iDrive, we've got a couple events done. The first relays, the first 200 frees. The women are behind the blocks for the 200 individual medley. In the Class 2A, Florida High School State Championships for swimming and diving today. Dave Van Buskirk here with Mike Kennedy and our trusty group of executive production and camera staff out working hard to bring you these shots.
Yep, we're setting up for 200 IM, Mike.
Let me tell you who we're going to have here in this Heat 1B final, which is the consolation final. Sarah Lakuski from Martin County is going to be in lane 1. Lando Lakes, it says Lull on my heat sheet. Jocelyn Williams is in 2. Danny Gordon is in lane 3. Shay Timmons in lane 4 next to Alex Nuyanis in 5. Nicole Cota is in lane 6 next to Kalani Kraus in 7. And Amelia Strom from, you guessed it, Choctawhatchee in lane 8. Not to be confused with Choctawhatchee. Completely different school.
And going out to an early lead, looks like it's going to be lane 5.
So
Alex Nuyanis.
I alluded to the fact that the individual medley was a different order than the relay, and that's because they don't have to start in the water with the backstroke. So they're going to go fly and then back and then breast and then free.
And Mike going out to the early lead. is going to be 28.84. That's going to be Timmons right there in the middle of your screen in lane 4. Wow, making a move. Top of your screen is going to be Kraus in lane 7. And Mike, I think Kraus is known for the backstroke here. She's going to take almost a half a body length lead over Naenas, and also Timmons right there in lane 4. Kraus touches off now with a 101.99. First to transition from backstroke over to breaststroke.
It's too close to call, Dave. I'm about to hyperventilate. The breaststroke, we talk about it making a difference, but look what's happening in the pool right now. They are just evening up.
Timmons now is going to move back into that first position, Mike, but coming right there with her is going to be Danny Gordon in lane 3.
And Nuyanis doesn't want to be left behind, but look out. Kalani Kraus out in lane 7 is making a move in the breaststroke. I hope I'm saying her name right.
And going out now is still going to be the leader. It's going to be Timmons, Shea Timmons, 139.99. 50 to go, Mike, of the freestyle.
Timmons and Gordon had the best turns from breast to free, and they got an advantage from it. And now they're going to be tied, flipping together with 25 sprint to go. I believe the best turn was Gordon.
I think so. Let's see what happens. Timmons now is holding first, but now here comes Danny Gordon. Danny Gordon's going to pass her,
door
I believe.
on her, or window, or whatever it is.
And it's going to be Danny Gordon takes first with a 2:10.03. Second is going to be Timmons with a 2:10.71. And touching third is going to be Kraus with a 2:11.75.
Good night. That is some fast swimming right there. But guess what's going to get faster as the music lowers? We're getting ready now for the championship final, Heat 2. This is your A final. In the girls' 200-yard individual medley, Savannah Bowser, the freshman in lane 1. Hannah Vandersloot in 2 from Suncoast. Courtney Devaney's in lane 3. Your top qualifier with a 2:04.03 this morning, Hannah Burns in lane 4. Sophie Cattermole is in lane 5 next to Childs Leah Lombardi in 6. She's got her teammate right next to her, Lauren Peavy, in 7. And another freshman wrapping out that outside speed is Caitlin Hauser in lane 9. This is going to get very fast. We've got two swimmers in this heat that can swim this event under 2:06, as they've shown this morning. 3 under 2:10. So we're about to award another state championship. The medals will come later. The championship crowning will happen right now in the water. And it looks on your scorecard like a Hannah Burns-Sophie Cattermole duel, because they are both 5 seconds ahead of their nearest competitor.
And they've seen each other a lot in club swimming as well.
Today, this is why we swim the race. You never know. It could be one of those freshmen in the outside speed out there, lane 1 and 8, ready to make it happen.
And Mike, we're underway.
Childs has 2 swimmers in the pool, and they got a big sign up, holding up in the air behind the starting blocks. And the fastest flyer in the water for sure looks to be Hannah Burns right now.
You're exactly right. Coming right there with her, though, is going to be Cattermole and also Devaney over in lane 3. But everybody trying to give chase right now to Hannah Burns.
She's going to slam into that wall and flip to back.
I'm getting ready.
I'm hearing a chorus of "Go Hannah" in the crowd.
And Mike, still everybody trying to chase down Hannah Burns over in lane 4. Closest person to her is going to be Cattermole over in 5. And then drop down to 3rd right now is going to be Devaney.
We're about to see what the breaststroke does. There we go, my nifty back to breast flip. But
and
Cattermole
wow,
makes up a bunch of underwater time there.
Great pull out there by Cattermole. But here comes Hannah Burns. Mike, Hannah's going to probably, with 25 left to go of the breaststroke, she's going to take a full body length lead.
And that time, Cattermole's underwater didn't help her as much. It's now a full body length for Hannah Burns.
Also making a move is going to be Lombardi over in lane 6. And coming with her is going to be Lauren Peavy and 7 for that third
Childs
position.
teammates are going to battle together there to try and get caught back up. And they're running 3rd and 4th right now.
50 to go. It's still Hannah Burns as your leader with a 1:32.43.
It's going to be a Childs battle to see who can get on that podium for that 3rd spot.
And oh so close. And this is going to be a battle between Lombardi in 6 and Peavy in 7. Right now, Hannah Burns is going to take almost a 2 body length lead.
And Leah Lombardi is trying to leave Lauren Peavy behind and get herself a bronze medal.
And congratulations to Hannah Burns, taking first with a 2:00.32. Second is going to be Cattermole with a 2:03.58. And it's going to be Lombardi now taking third, 2:06.57.
2:00.82. Wow, is that fast. And there's your champion right there. Good shot of Hannah Burns, 2:00.82. She gets some way to go Hannahs from the crowd here. So now they're starting to announce event 6, Dave. The boys 200-yard individual medley. This will be the consolation final. Heat 1 is the B final. Thompson Marston from Jesuit is in 1. Eddie Zacca is in lane 2.
Thought you forgot which lane it was in,
Jack
my friend.
Tona, that's what was getting me. That name's awesome. Is in lane 3. Ivy Simons is in lane 4. Ripley Lister from Gulf Coast is in 5. The freshman there. Gainesville has Brandon Paramore in 6. Manuel Lopez from Belen Jesuit, is in 7. And Josh Quillen of Gainesville is in lane 8, the far right-hand side of your screen. This is your consolation final. So let's see who can win it.
And Mike going out to an early lead right now. It's going to be lane 4. That's going to be Simmons.
I'm going to call him Simons.
Simons?
He's going, yeah, he got his name is Ivy. Everybody's saying go Ivy. Right here in our booth, it feels like. And he is going to go out fastest with a 25.36 opening fly 50 and flip into the back. And now there's some consolidation occurring because on either side of him, Jack Tona and Rip Lister are coming up his side. And we've got 8 swimmers right now within about a body length and a half of one another. All 8 lanes are battling out who's going to be this consolation champion. They're fighting for 9th. It's the best they can do. Right now, Rip Lister seems to be in the lead. We'll see who touches first. 56.26 is Jack Tona out touching Rip Lister at 56.72. Third, Ivy Simons. But now he's a breaststroker, and Ivy Simons is pulling right back up alongside Rip Lister. And that's the 1-2 right now. Ivy Simons, Rip Lister, 4 and 5. With a great pullout, Ivy Simons pulls away from Rip Lister in the breaststroke, and a new challenger comes out of Manuel Lopez over in lane 7.
And Ivy Simons, Mike, everybody's going to be chasing him down. He's got a 1:30.07. He's going to be your leader here, 50 to go.
And Rip's going to try and give it all he can. See if he can't pull him in. He's got half a body length. Ivy Simons over Rip Lister.
And Simon's still going to be your leader. 25 to go. Here comes Rip Lister.
Not going to be enough pool, Dave.
And Ivy Simons is going to go underneath the flags, and he's going to take first with a 1:57.79. Rip Lister is going to take second with a 1:59.22. And touching third is going to be Manuel Lopez with a time of 2:00.36.
Which will bring us to our A final. We'll get the music cranked up in here and announce the championship final in event 6, boys 200-yard individual medley for class 2A, Florida High School athletic swimming. Andrew Wojcik is in lane 1 next to Marco Leo in 2. Chase Gutnick from Gulf Coast, the senior, is in lane 3 next to Michael Duderstadt of Mosley, also a senior in 4. Ben Borgert from Gainesville is in 5. Next up, Brandon Tomlin in 6. Jason Tillotson is in lane 7. And Jordan Wheeler from Land O'Lakes is in lane 8, far right-hand side of your screen. Michael Duderstadt was the top qualifier this morning with a 1:53.09. That's what we call blazing fast, Dave.
That is something. And here we go, Mike. And they're whistling out to the blocks.
Oh, I'm hyperventilating, Dave. Not only do we have a championship to award here, but right after this, I get no rest because they're bringing the 50s at me.
That's exactly right.
And they're in the water. We're going to go fly back breast free. And Duderstadt is not wasting any time as he flies down the fastest 25. Big butterfly. Probably half body length lead on the field right now. Second, too difficult to call, but if I have to give it to somebody right now, I'm going to give it to Marco Leo in lane 2.
Let's see what happens, Mike, as they go in. 23:53, that's going to be Duderstadt. He's going to be your leader. And Mike, he'll be the first to transition now to backstroke.
Marco Leo was second, just barely, with a 24.73 over Chase Gutnick, 24.83.
And keep an eye on lane number 5, and that's going to be Borgert.
Borgert, yeah.
He's making a move, Mike.
He's your backstroker. He is powering
he sure
out
is.
that backstroke to try and catch Duderstadt, and may have him and even be your leader at the wall there, as he is with a 52.43 against the Michael Duderstadt's 53.32.
And also here comes Brandon Toman over in lane 6 as well. And oh man, this is going to be a great race between Duderstadt and Borgert.
It is.
Lanes 4 and 5.
He's got the cheering section right now behind his lane. And they are going to be tied at the midway point of the breaststroke, but Duderstadt is now moving past him with a great pullout and has an arm's length lead over Borgert as they head under the flags and go into flip to freestyle. Duderstadt touches first, 124.53 versus 124.75. 2/10 separation as Borgert powers into the freestyle now to try and reel Michael Duderstadt in. The race for third is happening between lane 3 and 6, Brandon Toman and Gutnick. And right now, Michael Duderstadt is pulling away from Ben Borgert to take a state championship in the 200 individual medley.
Congratulations. Duderstadt with a 150.01. Taking second is going to be Borgert with a 151.37. And the crowd really is going to go loud, Mike, because taking third is going to be Gutnick. Congratulations, with a time of 153.47.
And here are the women in event 7, 50-yard freestyle. B final. This will be your consolation finals. They're up behind the blocks. All 8 of them are there, so I can start telling you who we have. Tori Litchke is in lane 1. That's the left-hand side of your screen. Brittany Foster is in lane 2. Lakewood Ranch's Shannon McCarthy is in 3. Marlena Pigliacampi from Seabreeze is in 4. Caitlin Myers is in lane 5. Next to Suncoast's Fabiana Ingram in 6. Claire Fleming is in lane 7. And Suncoast's Carolyn Lee is in lane 8.
Are you going to be right over there, my friend?
I'm going to. I actually happen to know the girl in lane 6. So I'm not a favorite of anyone. I'm just saying I know her.
Let's hear where
Get her
we go.
autograph later.
And Mike, they're underway.
Go, Fabi. What?
And going on to an early lead, looks like it's going to be Pigliacampi over in lane 4. And Mike, you know what, I say that. Here also has come Ingram in 6. Let's see what happens. Ingram over in lane 6 right now. She's going to be your leader, but also here comes Fleming.
I'm not
Claire
saying I called my
Fleming
shot
over
or
in
anything,
7.
but there goes Fabi.
And
No.
congratulations to Caitlin Myers. She's going to take first with a 24.31, touching second. Mike, it looks like it's going to be Pigliacampi with a 24.42, and third with a 24.75 is going to be Litchke.
No, that can't be right. Third is going to be Claire Fleming, 24.48 out in lane 7. They all touch together, very close together there. So let me tell you now about the Heat 2, the A final, championship final in this girls 50-yard freestyle. Lane 1, Gulf Coast Elise Hahn, that's the left-hand side of the screen. Sheridan Dressel is in lane 2. Delaney Barnard is in lane 3 from Childs. Victoria Bindi is in lane 4, with lane 5 holding Mitchell's Taylor Anderson. Hannah Kendall is in lane 6, with Bree Mount in 7, next to Pace's Olivia Weekly in 8.
And man, you could just say, looking across the deck, Mount and Weekly are bouncing all over the place. They're ready for this race to get going.
Well, because it's going to be over as fast as it starts, so you can't not leave anything on the blocks. You got to be loose and ready to go. The 50 free.
Here we go, Mike.
Is the drag race of swimming. Of course, for me, it's like a walk through the park. You just take a while to do it, maybe an hour and a half.
It's amazing it got quiet in here quickly.
You don't want anything bad to happen in the
You're
start
exactly
of the 50
right.
free.
And Mike, they're underway. Going out to an early lead. Looks like it's going to be lane 4. That's going to be Bendy, Victoria
I don't know how
Bendy.
you would call that, Dave. There's just a sea of white water in front of us.
Bendy looks like she's the first off the wall, Mike, by about a half a body length. Let's see what happens, because here comes a hard charging Hannah Kendall over in lane 6.
No, sir. It's Bendy all the way. Victoria Bendy to a state championship.
And congratulations, 23:39. Second, it looks like Mike touching second is going to be Elise Hahn, with a 23:89, and third place looks like it's going to be Anderson with a 24:01.
Whew. I'm exhausted. And no time to rest, because here come the men. Event 8, boys 50-yard freestyle. Heat 1 is going to be your B final, the consolation final. Let me tell you who we're going to have here. Oakland's very own Carter Treat in lane 1. Brandon Ledford is in 2. Lucas Roberts in lane 3. Next to Jesuits, Will Jennings in 4. Brian Deegan is in Ponte Vedra's swimmer in 5, next to his teammate Justin Quiggle in 6. John Brennock is in lane 7, next to Ross Brown in lane 8, far right-hand side of your screen. Whew. So let's see here now. This is the B final consolation. What are we going to get? We had a 21.99 in this heat this morning. You went sub 22 and got consolation out of it. He's going to go prove that he should have been in the A final right now, as he's the fastest turner, but with only an inch to spare. Now the challenge is coming out of 6 from Justin Quiggle. It looks like Jennings and Quiggle. Who's going to go into the wall first? No, it's Brennock, John Brennock. 21.94 wins it out of lane 7. And then Roberts in lane 3 takes second with 21.98. And then third is Brandon Ledford, 22.01. Everyone under 23, almost everyone under 22.5. What a B final that was. My heart is a flutter. So here comes Heat 2, our championship final. Who do we got, Dave?
It's going to be Aiden Brennan over in lane 1. Lane 2 will be Cameron Hilgenberg. Lane 3 will be Wesley Olmstead. 4 will be Nathaniel Thomas. 5 will be John Nolte. 6 will be Will Kazakas. Ryan Gusso in 7. And Rafael Marco will be in lane 8. Marco will be in 8.
Some fast swimming coming up here. We had,
wow,
this is one of the swim-offs you talked about, where we had the two 21.99ers.
You're exactly right. 21.20 and 21.21 is going to be Thomas and Nolte. They're going to be lined up in lanes 4 and 5.
The separation from first to last in this heat is about a fingernail separation. So we will tell you what happens when the white water clears in this room, if we can tell. We'll let the scoreboard settle it. You got to trust the touch pads. Deep breath, Dave.
And they are off.
Very fast start in 5 for John Nolte. But now it looks like lane 3 is Wesley Olmstead's making a move. He gets under that whitewater wave, and it's going to be Wesley Olmstead, I believe. I'm calling it, lane 3.
And I believe you're right. It's going to be Olmstead. Let's see what happens. They go underneath the flags, and it's going to be Olmstead. Takes first with a 20.73. Second with a 21.02 is going to be Thomas. And third is going to be Nolte with a 21.15.
Holy smokes, Dave. Hold on.
We're getting ready to take a break.
We need a break. Oh, my goodness. My muscles are all tense in my back. I think I pulled something in that last race. Need to crack my neck, crack some knuckles, do a little stretching exercise. I don't know if they're feeling this at home or not, but the pace we're keeping right now is ridiculous. We got perfect weather. The roof's cracked open a little bit here on a cool November night. And this opening night of the swimming championships, 2A gets to go first this year. We'll have 3A tomorrow night, and 1A will wrap it up Saturday night. And the one thing I can promise you each and every night is ridiculous fast swimming. These 3 divisions are amazing, and we'll probably see, I don't know, as it's happened before, I know that Dave has given us some mythical championships before where you combine all 3 together and see how that works out.
Oh, I know. We've done that in the past, too.
Yeah, so that's always fun to see the woulda, coulda, shoulda. As the house music is ramping up to an awards ceremony here. We need to get like a little channel of down in front people to move out of the way for the camera crew there. Show some respect.
And here we go, Mike. We're going to start off with the 200 IM.
And they're announcing now the girls 200-yard individual medley. Leah Lombardi takes the bronze, and she steps up to get that medal. Sophie Cattermole steps up to get her silver.
And here we go.
Columbia's Hannah Burns steps up with the gold medal in her neck. She's not playing around, Dave.
No.
She's not. She's telling the world this is not going to be the last time I'm up here.
Congratulations to
You
her.
guys get used to seeing me.
Mike, well, now we've talked about the girls.
She looks actually modest. I don't think she said that. It's just me being egotistical. Hannah.
She looks very happy.
Yes, Hannah is. Looks to be nothing but a class act up there wearing that gold medal as a state champion. And now we'll get the men. The event 6 boys 200-yard individual medley as they announce the final results. Here comes the medals. Gulf Coast Chase Gutneck takes that bronze medal. Ben Borgert from Gainesville takes the silver.
Great race.
He also got a
Fear of the Surge is
the award giver waiting to put the gold on.
Michael Duderstadt, congratulations.
On Duderstadt till they announced the times.
Yeah, he was like, I just want my medal, please.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
And he's up there getting his picture taken as a state champion in the 200 individual medley.
Well, Mike, now it brings us to the 50s.
I don't know if I can handle it.
We're not swimming them, my friend.
I know,
We're
but
just
this is just as
we're
exciting.
just giving the awards. That was a great 200 IM. Great race there.
Absolutely was. Absolutely right. The announcer saying, what a race about the women's 50-yard freestyle, in which we got to see Victoria Bindi, Elise Hahn, and Taylor Anderson battle it out, and you're about to see all 3 of them get their medals. Burns over here getting pictures with family.
Yep.
On deck here and fellow swimmers. And here comes Taylor Anderson from Mitchell High School. Tall girl. And just a sophomore, so she's going to come back.
Yep.
Sophomore also, Elise Hahn.
That's
takes
right.
the silver from Gulf Coast. Probably see her again as well. But on top, to stop the presses, the state champion is a freshman, Victoria Bendy.
And Bendy had a great job.
And also that's an automatic All-American time. (23:39). And I believe we have a potential dad standing here hollering Tori for his daughter, Victoria Bendy. She gives a hug to her fellow medalists. And a wave over to us. As now we'll announce the men's 50-yard freestyle. A great race as well with John Nolte and Nathaniel Thomas with Wesley Olmsted.
That's exactly right. And they're now getting ready to the official results.
We're announcing the 4th through 8th place finishers, as they still scored quite a lot of points for their team.
Yep.
By being in that A final.
John Nolte now stepping up, taking the bronze medal. And he's going to step up to the podium there at 3rd. And Nathaniel Thomas now will be accepting the silver.
Victoria Bendy coming behind us, getting hugs from Dad. I guess as they call her Tori. I don't know if you can relate to that in any way.
That's right. .73 All-American status. Eastside High School's Wesley Olmsted will take the gold. Right, a seat time coming in of 21:34, Mike.
Yep. That automatic All-American is nothing to shake your head at either. That's a fast swim, because 20.86 is the time to get it for automatic All-American. He went a 20.73. Fast swim for Wesley. And a state championship.
Yep.
A well-deserved state championship. Here at the FHSAA Florida Swim Championships on FHSAA Network.
You're exactly right. Thank you very much for tuning in. Mike Kennedy along with David Van Buskirk.
I don't know that I can handle a whole lot more fun than we're already having. Because
well, guess what?
I'm full up to the brim on fun.
Well, you better now. We're getting ready for the
spillage.
The middle distance now. We're going to have the girls and boys 200 butterfly. I mean, I'm sorry, 100 butterfly and 100 freestyle. 200
butterfly. That's brutal. They limit them to the 100 butterfly here in high school. We did happen to see some 200 flies not long ago, just up in Gainesville there at that A&M Gator meet.
That's exactly right.
That was fun. No way.
Are you happy and you know it? That's what they're playing in the background.
You know it, clap your hands. I'm just saying, if I'm one of the girls up there ready for the 100 fly, I'm not wanting to hear that business right now. I want to hear some dubstep. There they go.
And
now they're picking it up. Put a little house party on. The DJ got wise.
And guess what, Mike? We have swimmers on the blocks, or let's say behind the blocks, I should say. And we're getting ready to get event 11 underway.
Yeah, event 11 will be the girls 100-yard butterfly, as Dave said. And the first thing we're going to see is the B final, or consolation final, trying to settle out who's going to be 9 through 16. 100 fly.
And I think the officials now are trying to get everybody set.
This is still, if you're happy, you know, clap your hands. It just changed the tune. Letting everyone at home enjoy the music. I'm sure that somebody at home is dancing right now. Getting a little loose.
You know what? They're getting ready to start quietening this down, Mike. As we get ready to start announcing who is going to be in event 11, 100-yard butterfly. This is going to be B finals. And I think we're waiting on, I wonder if they're getting ready to change out a touchpad.
I would hope not. I wouldn't want to think that I just ran my 50 and I need to change touchpad afterwards. A lot of discussion going on amongst officials. They're recalling some timers and officials. I guess somebody took their break a little too long. No rest for the weary.
Mike, it looks like we got everybody underway.
I want to real quick, Dave, before anyone underestimates the importance of what tonight's swimming is, I'm seeing coaches already from Indian River, the University of Florida, which means the Olympic head coaches here, and NC State walking around on deck during the break. And I'm sure I'm missing some.
Oh,
That's just the ones I just happened to see during that break. So if that doesn't tell you what's happening tonight, I don't know what will tell you about.
Well, Mike, let's talk about who all is going to be in the pool right now. This is going to be event 11, girls 100-yard butterfly. In lane 1, Christina Tornant. Lane 2 will be Olivia Kirkpatrick. 3 will be Claire Kirchhoff-Roy. Lane 4 will be Juliana Pettinger. 5 will be Danielle Vega. 6 would be Sydney Simpson, Monica Jager in lane 7, and Ua Dymark in lane 8.
I know Claire Kirchhoff-Roy is a name we've said about 8,000 times.
Yep, but right now
a young freshman here.
Pettinger's right there with her, over in lane 4.
We've seen our share of age group swimming, which is where we see Claire often. But
let's see what happens here at the 50.
Now, as high school swimming, you can get a freshman in the pool with a senior. Excuse me, with a senior.
27.44 will be Pettinger. Right behind her with a 27.53 will be Kirkpatrick over in lane 2.
.100 fly, brutal as they come in After making the final turn, they got their final
This is
push up
it.
the wall.
And here comes a move over in lane 6 by Simpson.
Simpson and Pettinger, I think, is your race, but I think that Pettinger is going to hold her off.
And Pettinger's going to be the first underneath the flags, and Pettinger's going to take
That was
first.
close.
50-50, 58-59, 58-92 is going to be Simpson, and touching third will be Christopher Roy with a 58-95.
Which will take us to the A final, which is also known in these parts as the championship final. As there's some hugs being shared in the water, I love to see that. But we're going to go to the A final, like I said, championship final. Fort Myers' Jessica Hurley in lane 1, next to Seabreeze's Marlena Pigliacampi in 2. Olivia Weekly of Pace is in 3, next to Child's Alyssa Yamber-Mall in 4. Lakewood Ranch's Madison Jean is in 5, with Courts McGovern in 6. Pace has Carolyn Page in 7, next to Martin County's Aubrey Murray in lane 8, the far right-hand side of your screen. Got some Childs fans in the house cheering them on.
And this is championship finals. Mike, this is what it all comes down to, my friend.
Someone at the end of this race will be a champion. And they're on the blocks, Dave.
And here we go, championship final.
100 fly. There are a few girls in the different meets who do a sideways where they kick one leg back behind themselves where they're almost twisted on the block, and I'm confident they're going to fall off the block every time they do it.
Mike, we're going out to an early lead. It's going to be McGovern over in lane 6. Yammer Mall right there with her in lane 4. And I think Yammer Mall got it off the push of the wall. And
I believe you are absolutely right.
Let's see what happens when they come to the 50. It's going to be Yammer Mall with the lead with a 26-24. Right behind her with a 26-50 is going to be McGovern. And also making a move, the top of your screen is going to be Aubrey Murray over in lane 8. Murray, I think, is holding that third position down. Nope, because here comes Madison Jean over in 5. Yammer Mall is
No
the one
question about that first spot.
is one everybody's trying to catch. Yammer Mall will be the first underneath the flags. Right with her is going to be McGovern, but it's going to be Yammer Mall taking first with a 55-21. Second is going to be McGovern with a 56-55. And touching third is going to be Pigliacampi with a time of 56-97. You heard a way to go McGovern in the background.
That's for
Parents and
second
everybody are
place time.
excited.
Yep. Which is going to bring us up to event 12 now, the boys 100-yard butterfly B final or consolation final here in lane 1. We're going to have Nicholas Loomis. Lane 2 has Eric Chow. Logan Gertowski's in 3. Lakewood Ranch's Luke Hanner in 4. Next to Creon Niklani in 5. Brandon Ledford is in 6. Next to Suncoast Jacob Pavlock in 7. And Alexander Sparble's back again for his second consolation final, in lane 8. Ooh, almost had a fall in there on the please stand. Got the bright pink arena suit there in lane 5, Cryan Miklani. Got to see a lot of those arena suits at the Olympics this summer. Too close to call, Dave, at the 25. Give it to any one of 6 of them there.
Looking down at Eric over in lane 2. I think it's going to be lane 6. That's going to be Ledford, Brandon Ledford. Let's see what happens.
Going there.
Yep,
You're absolutely right.
24.50. 24.80 is going to be.
There's a 24.56 Luke Hanner, so your eye was discerning to that 6/100ths. Pretty good eye. I'm gonna have to ask you about some stock market pricing.
But you know what, Mike? Here comes Luke Hanner over in 4.
I still think it's Brandon Ledford right now.
He's
He's one stroke ahead of everybody else right now.
Nick Laney, here what happens. They go in, it's going to be Ledford. Brandon Ledford takes first with a 52.35. Second is going to be, is it Nick Laney? with a time of 52:49, and 52:55 is going to be Luke Hanner.
Yep, lane 6, 5, and 4 went 1, 2, 3 in that order, which the music kicks up. Heat 2 means championship final. So here we go with the championship final. In lane 1, Martin County's Daniel Hartley is in lane 1. Berlin Jesuit has Jose Alvarez in 2. Scott Fortier is in 3. Devin McCaffrey from Mitchell, the senior, the top qualifier with a 49.75 this morning, is in lane 4. Wesley Olmstead is back. He's got 1 championship in the books. He's going to go for a second here in lane 5. Lakewood Ranches' Will Kazakis is in 6. Jordan Wheeler of Lando Lakes is in lane 7. And Childs has Brett Martin at the far right-hand side. You're seeing lane 8. Woo! Championship final again. It's like every other event is a championship. Because it is. They're clearing the pool. And bringing in the battle for the championship. We had a 49.75 this morning with Devin McCaffrey. The only swimmer to go under 50.
But Wesley Olmstead right there with him in lane 5.
Yeah, he was the only other swimmer to go under 51. So we were talking about a serious fast swim here.
And we have swimmers in the water, Mike. Looks like going out to an early lead is going to be McCaffrey over in lane 4. Right with him is going to be Olmstead in 5. And McCaffrey pushes off the wall first.
What a powerful underwater for McCaffrey. Full body length lead at the 35-yard mark. He's going to open with a 50 of 22.30 versus Olmstead's 23.05. Olmstead's pulled back in, though, within half a body length lead. He's clawing back at it at the 75-yard mark.
Also keeping a lookout on Daniel Hartley over in lane 1. He's making a move in that 3rd position, but everybody's trying to chase down McCaffrey.
Yeah, I think Olmstead's the only one within reach. I don't think there's enough pool left.
And they're going to go underneath the flags almost together, but it's going to be McCaffrey takes first with a 48.86. Second with a 49.07 is going to be Olmstead. And touching third is going to be Hartley, top of your screen, with a 50.48 out of lane 1.
That is some serious fast swimming. I cannot believe it. That's a automatic All-American for McCaffrey and Olmstead. As now we're going to go to event 13, the girls 100-yard freestyle. Heat 1, B final, consolation final. Tori Litchke will be in lane 1 with Rachel Martin in 2. Chloe Adams is back in lane 3 for Fort Lauderdale. Kirsten Harmerling is in lane 4. Lauren Suarez in 5. Mitchell's very own Taylor Anderson is in lane 6, while Suncoast senior Carolyn Lee is in lane 7, and Jackie Kinman is at the far right-hand side of your screen in lane 8 in this girls 100-yard freestyle.
Harmerling from CHS, she had the fastest seat time coming in with a 53.31. Let's see what happens as they enter into the water.
Fast started 6 right there for Taylor Anderson.
Exactly right. Taylor Anderson might be your leader here at the 25.
Now with the stroke, and I believe Kirsten Harmeling's pulled back. Sorry, Lauren Suarez, I think, has pulled back with her, but Kirsten Harmeling's coming right with her. Little outside speed happening in 8 with Jackie Kinman. See what kind of split we get at the opening 50 here. It's going to be Harmeling 25.65 versus Anderson's 25.67, and then 25.74 for Suarez. Outside speed, Jackie Kinman 25.81. All 3 of them within 26 hundredths.
And it's going to be Harmeling still going to be your leader.
6 swimmers within an arm's length of each other.
And it's coming down to the final 15 yards, Mike.
And Harmeling, I think, is going to pull away.
I don't
get
know.
Just that hand on Jackie Kinman in 8.
Let's see what happens. And no, they're going to say it's Saraz takes first. Lauren Saraz takes first place with a time of 53.39. 53.42 is going to go to Harmeling. And touching third is going to be Adams, I believe, with a time of 53.69.
Whew. I don't know if this championship final could be any faster, but we're going to see our 50 free sprinter back. Tori Bindi is your top qualifier, but let's see who you have in this championship final of the girls 100-yard freestyle 2A championships. Claire Fleming is in lane 1. Bree Mount is in lane 2. Sophie Cattermole is back in lane 3. Tori Bindi, the freshman champion of the 50 free, is in lane 4, top qualifier with 100 free at 51.25. Delaney Barnard of Childs is in lane 5. Martin County's Hannah Burge is back. We saw her in the 200 free earlier. Hannah Kendall, another freshman in this heat, in lane 7. And Caitlin Myers is in lane 8, the far right-hand side of your screen.
She's swimming for Niceville High School.
Tori Bindi is all smiles over there in lane 4, as she already has one state championship in her belt. And she's going for a second.
And I tell you, this place is packed and loud, Mike.
It is.
But it's amazing how it's loud now, but as soon as everybody gets on the blocks, silence.
Let me tell you one thing, Dave. If this whole building was full of people as excited as I am right now, we'd have to be on lockdown because this place would explode. My heart is pounding. I am too heavy to have a heart rate this high.
And they are underway.
You know, like 100 free is like 250s.
Going out to an early lead is going to be Bindi, but right there with her is going to be Barnard and Bernard in lane 5, and also Burge in 6.
Tori Bindi has a kick that you're going to have to learn to deal with, girls, if you want to catch her, because she is seriously going. But you know who wants it? Sophie Cattermole in lane 3.
You're exactly right. Cattermole's right there with her. Let's see what happens here at the 50, Mike. And it's going to be 25-15 is going to be Bernard. Bindi was 24.85, and 24.93 is going to be Cattermole. That's how.
But here goes Bindi. Tori Bindi is out about an elbow's length lead, but now who's coming is Barnard.
Barnard now is making her move, but you know, Bindi did
Cattermole
a great wall.
on the turn. Cattermole had a great turn, and she's trying to accelerate away with Bindi. Tori Bindi is going to go in and take her second state championship here this afternoon.
And congratulations, Bindi takes first with a 50.31. Taking second is going to be Cattermole with a 51.23, and third is going to be Barnard with a time of 51.40. Congratulations. Mike, I know you were happy for the girls. Let's talk about now the guys stepping up onto the blocks.
Yeah, we're going to have the B final now of event 14. Boys 100-yard freestyle. Heat 1, consolation final. Jonathan Long in lane 1. Joshua Wolf in lane 2. Jesuits Will Jennings in 3. Harrison Howerton is in lane 4, because Ivan Parada of Pembroke is in lane 5. Fort Lauderdale's Rafael Marco is in 6. Michael Pineda from Gulf Coast is in 7. And lane 8 has Ryan Hall ready to go out there in lane 8, right-hand side of your screen.
Let's see what happens. They're going to step up on the blocks.
Whew.
And Mike, we're about ready to get everything underway.
You see Ivy Simons walking by our booth here, heading back down towards the deck.
And going out to an early lead, looks like it's going to be Marco over in lane 6. As soon as I say that, here comes Parada and Howerton over in lanes 5 and 4. Pushing hard off the wall is going to be Will Jennings, Mike.
Absolutely, that's what I was going to say in lane 3, but now the challenge is going to 5. Yeah, Ivan Parada.
And Marco in 5 and 6. Let's see what happens here at the 50. Pushing first off the wall. Whoa, 22.92 is going to be Parada. 23.16 is going to be Marco.
Jennings with 23.23. So got some work to do to get back in there. Right now, it does look like lanes 5 and 6, maybe Parada and Marco now. Challenge coming from 2 from Joshua Wolf.
And Marco now is going to make the lead. I think Marco is going to be your winner. And Marco is going to take first with a 47.66. Second is going to be Parada with a 48.40. And touching third is going to be Wolf with a 48.58.
Which gets the music cranked up here as we go to the championship final of Heat 2, the championship final of event 14, boys 100-yard freestyle in this 2A FHSAA championship swimming event. Boys 100 free. Lucas Roberts is in lane 1. PJ Dunn is in lane 2. Aiden Brennan is in lane 3. Caleb Dressel in lane 4. John Nolte in 5. Julian Ballestas is back in lane 6. Lance Narcisse is in 7. And Stephen Mount is in lane 8, far right-hand side of your screen.
And you hear final announcements coming in lanes 7 and 8. And Mike, we're probably about 5 seconds away from this thing getting underway.
Well, I hope it's not that long, Dave. I can't wait.
Championship finals are whistling to the blocks.
I want to scream like a parent.
Go!
And I don't even know any of these guys. Caleb Dressel, I mean, I've seen him around.
And going out to an early lead, looks like the name you just mentioned, Caleb Dressel, right there in lane 4. Mike, he jumped to a half a body length lead. Coming right there with him, though, is going to be Julian Belize.
He was over a second favorite from this morning's seed times.
And Caleb Dressel,
he's going to do a 21 open here. Correct me, 20.74 open.
Exactly right.
Holy smokes. We could see a 44 happening here, folks. It'd be a nice college swim.
And let's see, Caleb Dressel's, they said
state record could happen. There it is. Nope, just missed it by 600.
44.10. Congratulations to Caleb Dressel. Valitas is going to take second with a 45.08. Touching third is going to be Nolte with a 46.40.
That is 600. I'm sorry, it doesn't seem to be in agreement with what he has there on the sheet. The sheet says 44.04. Yeah, he's getting corrected by an official now. That is not a state record. Yeah, it's a 1991 record. It's he is 600ths off that 1991 state record. But an excellent time nonetheless, and a state champion, Caleb Dressel. Julian Ballestas was second, John Nolte third. We'll see that at the awards. That's a good time to point out, Dave, that even whether we say it or the in-house announcer, it's unofficial.
You're exactly right.
We're moving to a shot of the awards now.
That's right, we're time for awards.
And I'm going to do some light calisthenics, not for the viewers at home. And I do mean light. I think that next time we do the state meet, we should do it with a Starbucks in our booth. Just a little espresso to keep someone seeing. And we got an executive producer who's shivering now.
Here we go. Mike, I cannot believe some of the swimming, some of the fast swimming we have seen tonight.
Well, we're going to back to the 100, all the way back to the 100 fly.
You're exactly right. We're going to go back to the 100, the girls 100 butterfly.
Oh, Alyssa Yamber-Mall, coach's daughter.
Exactly right.
Coach Terry Mall is who we're referring to there. The timers all get a break right now. Disperse officials and timers.
You've actually had a chance to volunteer for timing. It's a very important role.
I did time last year on just one day of the state meet, and unfortunately I did it on the same day that my children were swimming, so I didn't see them swim at all because I was focused on timing my lane. My wife's in the stands waving to tell me, your daughter is in the pool. I missed it.
Yep, I'm sorry, I'm not able to do that because I've got to focus on...
Hey, but that's what us volunteers do.
That's exactly right.
We volunteer. They're announcing the rest of the finishers. We're going to have Marlena Pagliacampi be the first to get her bronze medal of Seabreeze, which I believe is in Daytona, correct?
That's exactly right. Pagliacampi, congratulations. She's going to receive the bronze medal.
She had time to do her hair. Quartz McGovern steps up there. Granddaughter of the late George McGovern. No?
No.
You don't think so?
Don't believe so.
Alyssa Yamber-Mall now coming up to get the gold medal.
The gold medal. Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations to Alyssa Yamber-Mall taking the gold medal for the girls 100 butterfly. And Mike, you're now getting ready to hear the announcement.
Look at that smile on McGovern's face. She is just
everybody is happy,
cracking up. That's a great picture. Great swims all. And now we move on to the men they're announcing. Event 12.
They start with 7, 6, 5.
Yeah, they actually said 8 too. They get the 8th guy in there. He made the A final. He gets announced. Daniel Hartley with a 50.48 was good enough to take third. Martin County. I've been to a number of meets at that Martin County pool.
And here we go.
It's a nice facility. There is Daniel. Stepping up on the bronze platform right now in front of the FHSAA logo.
And we thank you very much for tuning in to the FHSAA network.
Eastside, Wesley Olmsted's back, 49.07.
Congratulations. That's going to be enough time to get you a second place and a silver medal.
And an automatic All-American. This will be Devin McCaffrey with a 48.86, senior from Mitchell High School. He's a big boy.
And congratulations to McCaffrey. He takes the gold medal.
Steps up, shakes
and
hands.
a great shot of all those guys.
I want to go in there and photobomb from over the top. We could do a new feature. Find Mike Kennedy. Play from home. No rest for the swimmers. There's a girl right below us showing Dad her medal, and he screams down, "Get ready for your back."
You know what, Mike?
Who you are, parents.
We talked about the next event. Speaking of next event, it's the girls 100 freestyle.
That was fourth place, Hannah Burge. Bronze is going to go to Delaney Barnard of Childs.
And there you go. Bernard's going to go up there. Love the boots. Unfortunately, you're not.
Yeah, her whole team, the relay, had those earlier when they were up there winning the state championship in the relay.
Kind of like ruby slippers, ruby boots.
There's no place like home. Look at the divers getting ready over there.
Yeah, there's actually warming up for tomorrow.
Are they? Okay.
Yep, tomorrow 3A championship.
In the morning time.
You're exactly right.
Brought to you live here on FHSAA Network.
Yep.
And that's the silver was Sophie Cattermole. Here comes a freshman. You'll recognize her because you saw her in the 50. Tori Bindi with automatic All-American time of 50.81. She's won all the individual events she can swim because you can only swim the two. So we'll see her, I'm sure, in the 200 free and 400 free relays if her team is here for that, because she'd be a big anchor on both.
And Mike, you know what? We've talked about the girls. Let's talk about the boys now. This is event 14, boys 100-yard freestyle.
I can fast forward, though, to not long from now into the future. Another dad up here screaming, "Go Tori."
No, I don't know.
Okay. As the boys event 14, 100-yard freestyle, step up there announcing the 8th through 4th places. The first one we're going to see is John Nolte, who took 3rd. He's a senior. High School's John Nolte gets his bronze. He steps up there into our camera view there, fixing his hoodie.
There we go. Congratulations, Mr. Nolte.
From Belen Jesuit, Julian Ballestas, we saw him earlier.
Yep.
Is your silver medal. Got that University of Michigan hat cranked around backwards.
And our state,
Caleb Dressel,
state winner.
Almost state record, but not.
Caleb Dressel, congratulations.
I believe he sent someone else up.
That's correct.
Because that is not Caleb Dressel.
And Caleb might be getting ready for the 500 coming up.
That'd be a good spin of turnaround if he's doing the 100, 500. No, he's not in the 500.
Oh, there he is. There's Caleb. You know what? They probably just finished up and he's finishing warm downs.
Yep.
And ladies and gentlemen, there is a good reason that warm down is so important. You're moving at a quick pace here. And without that warm down, it can absolutely ruin the rest of the swims. So warm down is important.
There we go. And there's a shot of Caleb Dressel up there on the platform.
That's where he was. He was trying to get through. And again,
Some good pictures there.
Congratulations.
Taylor Dressel, 44:10 off the 1991 record of 44:04 by Ricardo Busquets of Pinecrest.
And you know what, Mike? It brings us now back to our distance. We're going to change from the 100s now to the 500s.
We are. We got to get all these officials and timers back. We've got to get some assistants out here to count the laps for us. We're going to readjust some of our cameras. I'm going to settle back in my lazy boy here for a little bit, kick up my feet, have an Italian ice, and watch some swimming.
And we're going to come up now. It's going to be the girls 500 freestyle followed by the boys. And then we're going to jump back into the relays, Mike. 200 freestyle relays.
Oh, my goodness. That's 4 times the 50s.
And you know what? We're on our way.
I'm going to tell you who we're going to have jumping in here now, because the girls 500-yard freestyle Heat 1 B final, consolation final, is first to go. Gulf Coast Nikki Festrovic is in lane 1. Alexis Diaz is in 2. Caitlin Hauser in 3, with Macy Arnold of Martin County, the senior, there in lane 4. Michaela Ayers from Childs is in 5. Angelina Gaiastegui is in lane 6. Hannah Lynch is in lane 7. And sophomore from Chucktahatchee, Emma Strom, born sometime after 1987.
You're not even funny. And going out to an early lead, looks like it's going to be lane number 4. And that's going to be
people are keeping score at
Arnold.
home.
Macy Arnold over in lane 4.
26:71 to open a 500.
But you know, this is a very long race, so you get excited about a 50, but and Mike, at the end of 100, it's still going to be Macy Arnold. She's going to be your leader, holding second. Galascu.
I'm saying Gaiastegui, but I don't know.
Gaiastegui is going to be holding that second position.
The name you need to be able to say clearly is Macy Arnold.
And that's the one that you need to say right now, because she's going to be your leader here at the 150 with a 125.14.
She is out to show that she should have been in the A final right now, because she seems to be a woman on a mission right now.
200 free, 154.88. That time belongs to Macy Arnold. She's going to be your leader. And Macy here at the 250. She's going to flip in with a time of 2:24.94. Right behind her with a 2:29.18 is going to be Galastegui, and 2:33.06 is going to be Hauser, Caitlin Hauser. Also going to be right there with her is going to be lane 2, Alex Diaz. Diaz might be making a move on Hauser for that third position. Everybody's still trying to chase down Macy Arnold, Mike, at the 300 with a 2:55.36 lead. .302.54 is going to be Ayers. And Mike, Macy Arnold here at 350, it'll be 3:26.10. Macy Arnold will continue to lead. 400, Mike. She's going to push off the wall with a 3:56.77. Galastegi's still going to push off and hold that second position, but right behind her is going to be Caitlin Hauser for third. And also here comes Michaela Ayers over in lane 5. Ayers now has made a move to that third position. And final 50, Macy Arnold is going to get the bell, 4:27.39. $4:34.28 is going to be Galastegi, and 4:37.48 is going to be Alex Diaz. And Mike, it's going to be Macy Arnold going underneath the flags, and she's going to take the consolation round with a 4:57.29. Touching second is going to be Galastegi with a time of 5:05.10, and third is going to be Michaela Ayers with a 5:06.43.
So Dave, let me tell you, we got a championship final coming up right now. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready. Who do we have in the pool?
We're going to have Julie Suarez, in lane 1. Hannah Capers of Childs in 2. Kendall Brent, the freshman from Fort Myers, is in 3. Childs CC Williams is back in lane 4. Danielle DeValley's right there with her from Lakewood Ranches, in 5. Alexandria Whitman is in 6. Another freshman from Gulf Coast, Avery Mooring, is in 7. One more freshman making 3 in this A final. Savannah Bowser is in lane 8. The freshmen are attacking the distance here. We'll see if any of them can compete with CC Williams, who is the top qualifier by over 5 seconds. Oh, they gotta please stand.
Uh-oh. And we are underway, Mike.
We are in this 500-yard freestyle race.
And CC Williams over in lane 4 is going to go out to an early lead, but Danielle Valley is going to be right there with her in 5.
It's too close to call.
Yeah, at the end of 25, you're exactly right.
There's still only 4:75 to go. Should be able to pick it.
At the end of 50, 26.23 is going to be CC Williams. Danielle Valley with a 26.50 is holding second. And I think Danielle Valley is going to pass her here. We might see a new leader here at the 100. Nope. Great push off the wall there by CC Williams in 4. CC Williams 54.65, 54.70 be Danielle Valley. And then jump out to lane 1, Julia Saraz, 56.98, holding third. $123.21, $122.79, and Danielle Valley now has moved into that first position, Mike, as CC Williams will drop to second by about a half a body length. And holding third right now, it looks like it's going to be Kendall Brent over in lane 3. Right there with him, though, is going to be Julie Saraz. And Danielle Valley, Mike, will continue on. Now takes almost a 2-second lead with a 1:50.82. CC Williams now will drop for about a body length back. Battle for third is oh so close. between Kendall Brent in 3 and Julie Serraz in 1.
And of course, the big sponsor here taking pictures of all our athletes is Pension Bank, one of the 37.
Danielle Valley's not fooling around right now. Would you have to agree with that?
No, she's not. She will now take a, looks like almost a 2 body length lead, Mike.
Yeah, it's over 3 seconds right now, just at 3 seconds over top seed Cece Williams. Cece's gonna have to start reeling her in here if she wants to challenge for this state championship in the 500 free. I believe this is what's called to, in layman's terms, taking it to her.
Yes.
Right now. So Cece's got to decide one stroke at a time how much Danielle Valley's going to get ahead of her.
2:50.32.
It's still over 3 seconds right now. The lead that Danielle has, but it looks like Cece's trying to bring it in, but.
And Danielle Valley's going to push off the wall, Mike.
I think we should have got a bell there, but I guess they're not ringing a bell.
3:15.38. No, it'll be a sound. This is actually going to be your, I believe, your 400 mark coming up.
Okay, I'm ahead of myself. Getting all excited. Thought I saw a double orange being put out there.
And you're probably going to get it here.
Yeah, the next one now. Well, no, it still shouldn't be. This should be 17 now.
Yep.
And then the bell coming up.
Right now, it's Danielle Valley. 3:43.91, 3:49.05 is Cece Williams. Third now looks like it's going to belong to Kendall Brent, sitting in lane 3.
And there's the electronic buzzer.
Danielle Valley, 4:12.75. Cece Williams, she's going to flip in with a 4:18.64, holding that second position. And Kendall Brent's going to flip in third right now with a 4:27.11.
There's your state champion right there. Danielle Valley goes in with a 4:40.97, just 3 seconds off the 1999 state record. Second for Cece Williams at 4:48.07.
And congratulations, Danielle Valley, 4:40.97. Cece Williams, 4:48.07. And third is going to be Kendall Brent with a 4:57.16.
Which brings us to the men now. We'll have the boys 500-yard freestyle consolation final will come up first. Heat 1, this consolation final, Michael Quillen from Gainesville in lane 1. Brandon Toman in lane 2. Ronald Santos is in 3. Eric Ordaz is in 4. Blake Woodrow from Fort Myers is in 5. Gainesville's Brandon Paramore in 6, next to his teammate Seth Borgert in 7. And Jet Crowdis is in lane 8, far right-hand side of your screen.
And we are off. And Mike going out to an early lead. Looks like it's going to be lane number 5. That's going to be Blake Woodrow. And Blake at the end of 50, 24.50. 25 flat is going to be Borgert, sitting over in lane 7, holding that second position down. And third is about 4 different swimmers. And Blake Woodrow at the end of 100, Mike, still going to be your leader, 51.30. And Looks like lane 7 is going to be Borgert, Seth Borgert. He's going to be holding that second position, 52.92. But Mike, here comes lane 4, Eric Ordaz. And Woodrow's going to push off. Still going to be your leader, Eric Ordaz. Now is going to move into that second position and dropping back to third. Looks like it's going to be lane 7, Borgert. But also making a move is going to be Santos, Ronald Santos, over in lane 3. Blake Woodrow is going to be the first pushing off the wall. 2:15.71. Eric Ordaz right there with him with a 2:16.99. And Mike, I believe Eric Ordaz now is starting to close the ground on Woodrow.
He's reeling him in. Half a body length after that last wall.
And
we're
also
past the halfway point.
Also making a move out in lane 7 is going to be Seth Borgert for that now second position. Let's see what happens. They're going to push off. Nope, they're still going to have 2:44.65 is Blake Woodrow. 2:44.89 is Eric Ordaz. Seth Borgert still going to hold that third position with a 2:46.15. And I think Eric Ordaz is going to get him here off this wall. And pushing off the wall, 3:13.03 is going to be Eric Ordaz. 3:13.65 is going to be Blake Woodrow. And 3:14.99 is going to be Seth Borgert.
Eric Ordaz will not be denied as he pulls out to now full body length lead in that lane 4 spot. Next time he touches that wall, he'll be getting the buzzer. But look who's challenging back as Woodrow tries to keep him within that one body length. And Ordaz races to see if he can go collect the electronic buzzer. Not unlike the white flag in NASCAR. 1 lap to go. And Ordaz is pushing it out to now maybe a full body length and a half, maybe 2 body lengths as he turns on what's left of the throttle to empty the fuel tank.
And Mike, I think off the wall, you might see Borgert move into that second position, but here comes Woodrow now finding a different gear.
Wow, I didn't even see that battle come out there. Seth Borgert of Gainesville High is going to take that second spot, Dave.
Eric Ordaz is going to take first. Second is going to be Borgert with a time of 4:39.41. And Woodrow is going to take third with a time of 4:40.07.
They'll be able to discuss that on the medal stand. 4:36.20. But you know what's left, Dave? The championship. I'm sorry, I've given them medals. They're not even in the that's the consolation final run in 4:36. You know how fast this is going to go? Holy smokes. That was the prelims for, or the consolation for the championship now. Heat 2, A final. Max Bungert in lane 1 for Gainesville. Mosley's Jonathan Ratliff in 2. Senior Scott Fortiers in 3. Logan Samuelson of Fort Myers is in 4. He's your top qualifier today by almost 5 seconds with a 4:25.87. Lance Rutkin is back from Fort Lauderdale, senior, in lane 5. Michael Masuri of Fort Myers is in 6. Calvin Bryant, the junior, is in lane 7 with Bolek DePolakowski from Berlin Jesuit in lane 8, the far right-hand side of your screen. The whole field is spread out by 11 seconds here, but the fastest qualifying time, Logan Samuelson, 4:25.87. State record is still held by Nick Caldwell with a 4:17.29. Let's see if anyone can come close to that today.
And they are off.
500 yards to go.
And going out to an early lead right now, Mike. Looks like it's going to be lane number 4. That's going to be Samuelson, Logan Samuelson. And he's going to push off for the 50-52.
Adding to our coach count here is Coach Neal from Florida State right below us here.
Yep. And still, it's going to be lane 4. Logan Samuelson is going to be your leader.
Continuing to set a blazing trail in lane 4 is Logan Samuelson. 1 body length ahead of Lance Rutkin in that second spot. A tight race for third, but right now it continues to be Mike Masuri of Fort Myers in that third spot. 2:10.20 to 2:12.20 to 2:12.97. Two body lengths out for Logan Samuelson. Not letting him get away though is Lance Rutkin, Michael Masuri, and Scott Fortier, as they are nearly 3 wide, battling for that second and third spot and trying to stay within a body length and a half to 2 body lengths of Logan Samuelson. Lance Rutkin is making the move forward, but is being challenged ever so closely for that second spot. Logan Samuelson continues the lead out train, keeping that now 1.5 to 2 body length lead over Lance Rutkin, Scott Fortier, and Michael Masuri in that order. 3:59.13 is enough to collect the buzzer. 4:25.87 was his split time, but there is a hard and fast challenge coming from Lance Rutkin as he gets within the body length. So 1 body length lead with 25 to go. Lance Rutkin turning it on. He's going to get within half a body length before the flags. Just not enough strokes left as Samuelson goes into touch first with a 4:25.33. Second is Lance Rutkin at 4:25.78. Third, Scott Fortier at 4:27.86. So Logan Samuelson is your champion. Lance Rutkin the silver, Fortier the third. Seated that way, finished that way. Another championship has been awarded. And now the women's 200-yard freestyle relay event 17 is getting up behind the blocks. Consolation final will go first. We are live on FHSAA Network at the Florida High School 2A State Swimming and Diving Championships here on iDrive in Orlando, Florida. International Drive is what iDrive is, here just off of I-4 in the heart of Orlando's tourist corridor. We went up, the girls are up on the blocks for Heat 1, the B final. Pace will be in lane 1, left-hand side of your screen. Sebastian River in 2, Gulf Coast in 3, Childs in 4, Suncoast in 5, Bartram Trail in 6, Pompano Beach in 7, and Gulf Breeze in 8. I love the 50 free. This is 4 50 frees. So bring your 4 fastest 50 free relayers together and see if you can get them to state. Out fast in lane 5 is Suncoast with a challenge coming from Sebastian River in 2. But this could be their fastest swimmer, it could be their slowest swimmer, you don't know. But fastest right now is Suncoast with a 25.74 to open. Continuing now, that lead out train is Suncoast. They were the top qualifier in this relay. And they continue to show why, but there's a challenge now coming in 3 from Gulf Coast. As the anchors are ready to jump in, it is in that order: Suncoast, Gulf Coast, Childs. The battle rages on with Suncoast trying to hold on to a narrow lead over Gulf Coast, who's charging back, and Childs is coming, and here comes Sebastian River. And they're in that order 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be too close to call right now, as Suncoast goes in to take it with a 1:43.01. Second is Childs, out touching Gulf Coast. Childs 1:43.56, and Gulf Coast 1:43.63. Which will bring us now to Heat 2, the championship final of this women's 200-yard freestyle relay. We're going to whistle them up to the blocks. Titusville in lane 1, left-hand side of your screen. Niceville in 2, Martin County in 3, Holy Names in 4, Washington in 5, Ponte Vedra in 6, Forest Hill in 7, and Lando Lakes in lane 8, the far right-hand side of your screen. Here we go, championship finals up on the blocks. Someone's going to be a state champion. And they're in the water. 4 50 frees to deliver a state championship to somebody. Top qualifier from the morning was Holy Names in lane 4. But out fastest right now appears to be Washington High in lane 5. Handing it off with a 24:31 opening split. Washington continues to lead with Holy Names charging back with the second swimmers in the water, and Martin County running third. .48.64 is good enough for Washington to maintain the lead over Holy Names at 49.09. But I believe Holy Names, with the third swimmer in the water now, has taken that lead spot over. So it goes now, I believe, at the third swimmer and anchor is going to go Holy Names, Martin County, and then Washington. 1:13.55 1:14:20 is good enough for Washington to hold on to second. 1:14:23 for Martin County third. So it's Holy Names, Washington, Martin County in that order. And I believe Martin County is battling back into that second spot and trying to reach out and get the first spot. They've got all their Martin County cheerleaders on the side of the deck going after the win. And it's enough for Martin County to take it with a 1:37:48. Second is Holy Names at 1:37:50. And 1:38:25 is enough for Washington to hold third. Martin County wins it by 200. 1:37:48 to 1:37:50. What a race for a championship. Which will bring us up now to the men's consolation. Boys, 200-yard freestyle relay. Heat 1 B final, like I said, consolation. Nice High School is in lane 1. Archbishop McCarthy is in lane 2. Titusville in 3. Lakewood in 4. Pace in 5. Bartram Trail in 6. New Smyrna Beach in 7. Mosley in lane 8, the far right-hand side of your screen. Silence in the gym as they load the blocks and they're ready. Slow start in 4 for Lakewood, but he went deep, stayed with it. And maybe your leader at the 25, but they are the top seed by almost a second in this consolation final. Nice High School in lane 1, trivia question, is where Tim Tebow played his high school football, but did not attend class there. Figure that one out for yourselves. The battle right now, though, is between lane 4's Lakewood and Bartram Trail, not far from Nice High School, out in lane 6. But now the whole thing has gotten messy and sticky back together again as Lakewood and Bartram Trail have some challengers coming from Titusville and Archbishop McCarthy. We could be 4 wide here as they hand it off to the anchor. And Archbishop McCarthy, I believe, is your leader at 1:08:21 now. And that lead is gone after everyone else enters the water. Titusville, Lakewood, Bartram Trail. 4 wide now. Lakewood, Titusville, Bartram Trail. Looks like Titusville might take it by a fingernail. No, it's Lakewood with a 1:30.75 to Titusville's 1:30.83. And third is Bartram Trail at 1:31.12. That is your consolation final. As Heat 2 now, the championship final of event 18, boys 200-yard freestyle relay, is ready to jump in the water. Harmony High is in lane 1, Suncoast in 2, Ponte Vedra in 3, Berlin Jesuit in 4, CHS, which I believe is Clay High School, in 5, Robinson in 6, Barron Collier in 7, and Fort Lauderdale is in lane 8, the far right-hand side of your screen. They're whistling them up on the blocks. This is going to be ridiculous fast. Berlin Jesuit is about a 6 to 7 tenths favorite in lane 4. Out very fast in 5 for Clay High. It could be Caleb Dressel, but we don't have the names of the individuals here. But we do know that Clay High will be in the lead with a 20:52 open. 20:52 open. But just as quick as I say that, Belen Jesuit now is pulled into a full body length lead. So Belen leads out, Ponte Vedra second, Clay High third, Robinson fourth. Ponte Vedra swimmer trying to reel in Belen Jesuit as they go back to hand it off to the anchor leg. It's going to be a body length lead for Belen over Ponte Vedra, and Ponte Vedra over the rest of the field, which now includes Fort Lauderdale out in lane 8. Belen Jesuit a little more than a body length lead for the anchor with 25 to go. Ponte Vedra second, and it's very close to call for third, but I'm going to call it Fort Lauderdale, Clay High, and then Suncoast. But the winner is Belen Jesuit with a 1:27.24, second Ponte Vedra with a 1:27.47, and third is Robinson with a 1:29.13. So Belen Jesuit wins it. That's your state champion with a 1:27.24. Ponte Vedra 2, Robinson 3. Here's an award break coming up. As we're sitting very near seemingly a bunch of Ponte Vedra fans as we get the little cheer there for their second place. I see a couple parents I'm lip reading. It's so close as it was. They're 23/100ths away from a state championship. Silver is mighty nice though. I'd take it. I never got a silver. Coming up to the awards here. Let's see, they're backing up here. Let me give you the announcements, tell you who you're going to see here. It's going to be the girls 500-yard freestyle. Kendall Brent from Fort Myers got the bronze. C.C. Williams with the silver. There's Kendall Brent getting up there now. See Kendall. C.C. Williams. Stepping up there. Automatic All-American.
And your state champion, the ladies 500 freestyle, from Lakewood Ranch in Bradenton, posting in at 4:40.97 automatic All-American States.
Danielle Valley, your champion. Gonna step up there, automatic All-American as well. Getting the applause from her competitors there. Great shot there of the top three in this year's girls 500-yard freestyle 2A FHSAA swimming champions. Great competitors all. Freshman, a junior, and a senior. We'll move on to the men now. Event 16, boys 500-yard freestyle. They're announcing the 8th through 4th place finishers. First one we'll see here is Scott Fortier. Fortier of Lincoln High School senior gets the bronze medal.
And while Scott takes the stand, I'd like to qualify Jonathan Ratliff, Calvin Bryant,
out that 6 of the swimmers in this final 500 got a consideration for All-American or better. Stepping up there first was Lance Rutkin for the silver, and Logan Samuelson, the junior, with a 4:25, wins state championship. That's your men's 500 free top 3. This will be the event 17 now. Girls 200-yard freestyle relay teams are coming up. Announcing 8 through 4 right now. Third place team will be the first one we see, which is Washington High School. The 138.25.
Earning these ladies consideration for All-American.
Consideration for All-American with that time. So it was a 138.38 for that cut. They got a 138.25. All 3 of these top 3 teams got consideration. Holding Names High School with a 137.50 are going to collect their silver medals now. This is an awesome shaped head there on the bronze winning team. Aubrey Murray's up there with their Holy Names team. She's about to, with their Martin County team, that's the champions. She's about to swim the 100 back for us here in a minute. So Holy Names runner-up, 137.50, and Martin County wins it with a 137.48, 200ths. It's a great shot of the top 3 relays. And some moose antlers or something getting put up on the head there of the Martin County girls.
In 8th position, on the ladies' side of the scoreboard at 65 points right now. 7th place is Washington at 72
Some
points.
tears being shared with some swimmers and the coaches.
5th place is Gulf Coast at 88 points. 4th place, Holy Names at 101 points.
I'm going to cry right now. So the Martin County girls are walking off crying.
3rd place right now is standing on the ladies' side of the scoreboard. South Coast at 102.
Hartley.
2nd is Martin County at 107. And in the lead on the ladies' side of the scoreboard at this point in the race, Giles High School at 212.5 points. Our focus now on gentlemen's 200 free relays.
So yeah, we'll tell you that 200 free relays is going to be Robinson stepping up there to get the 3rd.
6th place, Clay High School. 4th place, we have a tie between Fort Lauderdale and Suncoast. In the medallions, the medals, the bronze,
That's Robinson up there getting the bronze.
Ross Brown, Alex Sparks, Connor Brown, and John Nolte.
2nd place will go to Pontevedra. Or Peavy. I got some family there in what they call PVPV because of Pontevedra Palm Valley area. PVPV. Belen Jesuit is your champion with a 127.24. That is your champion. Step up there to get the gold.
In 8th place, Robinson of Tampa. 7th place is Suncoast.
Squeeze in there, guys.
With 67 points. 66 for Robinson, only 1 point difference between them. In 6th place, the Flyers at 70 points.
Having to put his shirt on for the picture so mom doesn't get mad.
No 3rd place, a tie at this point is standing on the gentleman's side of the scoreboard between Aaron Collier and Fort Lauderdale at 82 points. In 3rd,
This will wrap us up and take us to the 100 backstroke after this. As we finalize the men's 200 freestyle relay on the blocks there with their belated Jesuit championship.
I'm excited to see the girls 100-yard backstroke.
Well, you missed, Dave, and I don't know the backstory on it, and I wish I did. Maybe someone will tell me later.
That's a good segue. Backstory into the backstroke.
Nice. The Martin County girls were up there after taking their championship in the 200 freestyle relay by 0.02 of a second.
Oh, wow.
They made some kind of like moose hand signal on their head, which I think was for someone, because to a woman, they all came off there crying.
Oh, okay.
And had to be embraced. And one of the girls, Hartley, literally ran out of the building. She was crying. She was crying so much.
That's great.
So it was an emotional moment for the freestyle relay team. And one of them, Miss Aubrey Murray, has to get ready and go get behind the blocks because she's swimming as 100 back right now.
And you know what? We're getting ready to get everybody underway and get ready for event 19.
We're going to whistle them up now. Here's the consolation final for event 19, girls 100-yard backstroke. Rebecca Hallfast is in lane 1. Gainesville's Courtney Bryant in 2. Lindsay Lee in 3. With Martin County's Aubrey Murray, as I mentioned, the top seed here in this heat, in lane 4. Peyton Brault from Wolfson High is in 5. Choctawhatchee's Emma Strom is in 6. Courtney Devaney is in lane 7. And Angel Morrison, lane 8, top right for your screen. We have an Angel in the building, Dave.
And Mike, popping up early is going to be Aubrey Murray, right there in the middle of your screen in lane 4. But also making a move is going to be Emmett Strom, Choctawhatchee High School, right there in lane 6.
Like I said, Aubrey Murray was on that winning 200 free relay team for Martin County, trying to go get another state championship. Oh, she can't get a state championship. She's in the consolation
rounds. And
so
pushing off first. Wow, Lindsay Lee, Mike.
Consi King trophy now.
28.53 is Aubrey Murray. 28.43 is Lindsay Lee. So Lindsay Lee now is going to move into that first position. And I say that really quick because here comes Aubrey Murray to reassert herself into that first position. And Aubrey Murray right there in lane 4. It's going to be your leader. Boom, and she's going to take first. Congratulations to Aubrey Murray with a 58.35. Taking second is going to be Courtney Bryant over in lane 2 with a 59.04. And third is going to be Peyton Brault with a time of 59.20. Brings us now to our championship final.
So this comes your championship final now. Event 19, girls 100-yard backstroke. In lane 1, we're going to have Sheridan Dressel from Clay High. Courts McGovern is back in lane 2. Fabiana Ingram is back as well for Suncoast in lane 3. Elise Hahn from Gulf Coast is in 4. Alyssa Yamber Mall from Childs is in 5. Pace's senior Carolyn Page is in 6. Julie Suarez is in lane 7 with Claire Kercheval-Roy in lane 8.
And lane 8 is going to be the far right-hand side of your screen. No. And here we go, Mike.
Yes, we do, Dave.
Best seed time coming in is going to be a 55.30. That's going to be Elise Hahn right there in the middle of your screen in lane 4. State record 53.82, Aubrey Peacock.
That could be in danger here this evening.
And going out to an early lead is going to be Elise Hahn right there in lane 4. She pushes off, Mike, just
right
under 13.
Fabiana Ingram.
You're exactly right. Also, Yamber Mall over in lane 5, and also Carolyn Page in 6. Everybody's trying to track down. 26.54 is going to be Elise Hahn. She's going to be your leader.
What a turn right there for Elise Hahn.
27.17 is going to be Ingram holding second.
An arm's length lead to a body length lead in that last turn.
She pushes hard again off the wall, Mike.
The battle right now is for silver, and I believe it's between Alyssa Yamber-Mall, and in that second spot right now, I believe, is Fabiana Ingram.
And 51, 52, 53, there's your record. And 54.43 is going to be Elise Hahn. Fabiana Ingram is going to take second with a 56.71, and touching third is going to be Yamber-Mall, 56.83.
This will take us to the consolation final for the men's. Event 20, 100-yard backstroke. Heat 1, B final.
Right, here we go, Mike. I'll bring everybody up. In lane 1 is going to be Logan Grotowski. Lane 2 is going to be Carter Treat. Lane 3 is going to be Chase Gutnick. Lane 4 is going to be Peyton Brunault. Lane 5 will be Noah Haraz. 6 is going to be Harrison Howerton. 7 is Kevin Smith and Joshua Wolf. And Mike jumping out to an early lead is going to be Howerton over in lane 6. And also now making a move is going to be Brunault, Peyton Brunault, right there in the middle of your pool. He's going to flip in with a 26.02. 25.53 is going to be Chase Gutnick. In lane 3, he's going to be your leader. And Gutnick is going to be your leader as he goes underneath the flags. But here comes a hard charging Haraz. And it's going to be taking first. It's going to be Gutnick, Mike, with a 52.96. Second is going to be 53.35. That's going to be Brunault. And taking third is going to be Haraz with a 54.61. Here we go, championship final.
Championship final is going to have lane 1, Jose Alvarez. And lane 2 will be Bolek DePalikowski. Lane 3, Ben Borgert. Lane 5's Alex Daner. Lane 6, Caleb Dressel. Lane 7, William Pisani. Lane 7, Dakota Mahaffey. And lane 8, far right hand side of your screen there, is Daniel Hartley from Martin County.
And here we go, Mike.
Another championship to be awarded here in about 50 seconds. Top qualifier 50.95 was Alex Daner, the senior from Chiles, in lane 4 this morning, but out fast right now is Caleb Dressel from Clay High School in lane 5.
Dressel's going to take the lead here, Mike, as he pushes first off the wall, probably about a half a body length lead. But coming right there with him is going to be lane number 7, Dakota Mahaffey.
Daner's coming, and so is Borgert, Ben Borgert in 3.
Let's see what happens. 24.51 is going to be Caleb Dressel. And Alex Daner, we're saying 24.97 in 4. He's going to be your leader.
Well, Dressel's keeping out to about a half a body length lead right now in that final turn. Borgert's trying to go deep. Daner went with him. It's now about an elbow's difference between Daner and Dressel.
And I think Dressel's going to get him when he goes underneath the flags. And Dressel is going to take first with a 50.08. Taking second is going to be Daner with a time of 50.67. And third is going to be Borgert.
Which makes us turn the page now. We're going to the breaststroke. Event 21, girls 100-yard breaststroke.
All right, hold on.
The consolation final will be first thing we'll see here. Lane 1 is going to have Francesca Vandersloot. Lane 2 will be Sydney Simpson. Lane 3 is Lauren Peavy. Shay Timmons is in lane 4, with Iwa Demarik in lane 5. Margaret Shoemake is in lane 6. Nicole Coda is in 7, and Sarah Lakuski is in lane 8, far right-hand side of your screen. And they're in the water for this consolation final, B final, girls 100-yard breaststroke. Top qualifier 107.93, Shay Timmons.
And the announcer now trying to get the clock.
Too close to call at the 25 turn. We'll get you a split here at the 50. All these girls were very close this morning. And the first to touch is Lauren Peavy with a 31.89. 31.89 opening in lane 3. From Childs. She had a 108.09 this morning, third qualifier in this heat. And leading right now by about an elbow's length over Shay Timmons as they try and reel her in. 105.18 will be All-American consideration.
And Lauren Peavy looks like she is going to take the win.
106.29 for Lauren Peavy. Shay Simmons at 107.30 takes second. If I can read right, that looks like it. And third is Iwa Demarik with a 108.06. Does that say 106.29, Dave?
I think 106.29.
I can tell you this much, that may not be All-American qualification, but that is an NCSA Junior National cut. I think she'll take that.
Guess what, Mike? It's time for champions.
Championship final, lane 1 has Tori Thompson from Ponte Vedra. Allie Lombardi is in lane 2. Leah Lombardi right there from Childs is in 3. Hannah Burns is in lane 4. Megan Hyla is in 6. Jackie Kinman, is in 6. Megan Hallow is in 5. Hannah Vandersloot is in 7. And Rebecca Dane is in lane 8, far right-hand side of your screen there.
Mike, we're getting ready to go underway.
We are. This will be the championship of championship, not only just for us and for the state of Florida, but for the Lombardi family, as they have sisters next to each other there.
Oh, you're exactly right.
2 and
oh,
3.
Wow.
I'm sure there's no smack talk going on down there. They're just wishing each other well.
That's exactly right.
I'm sure they'd like to go 1-2. Fast start from Hannah Burns.
Best seating time is going to be 1:04.56. It's going to be Hannah Burns.
Best pullout, though, was Megan Hala there in 5.
You're exactly right. And also making a move in lanes 7 and 8. That's going to be Vandersloot and Dane. Great pullout there again. Lane 5. Megan Hala.
Wow. She's going to open up sub 30. Yes, 29.94. Holy smokes. What a fast open.
Lindsay McKnight, 101.73. Wonder why that's the same Lindsay McKnight is now over at University of Florida. And right now, everybody's trying to chase down Megan Hala. Hannah Burns is the closest to do it. She's sitting in second place right now.
You know she wants it. She's pulling, emptying that cookie bowl with every stroke.
But I think it's going to be Hala. She's going to go underneath the flags, and she's going to touch in with a 102.95. Burns takes second with a 104.12. And third is going to be Leah Lombardi with a 105.98.
102.95 is good enough for All-American honors. Automatic there. Hannah Burns second. Leah Lombardi third. Which will bring us to the consolation event 22 boys 100-yard breaststroke. 1, we have Jay Cho. Lane 2 is Caleb Zalesnak. Ivy Simons is back in lane 3. Manuel Lopez in 4. Jason Tillotson in 5. Cameron Guy in 6. Marco Leo in 7. They get told to stand again. And Corey Clem is on the far right hand side of the screen in lane 8. I'm sure that shush is meant for me. I am a loud talker.
And going on to an early lead. Mike, you can sprint all the way over to lane 6. That looks like it's going to be Cameron Guy. He's going to be the first to pop up. And Guy is going to be the first pushing off the wall. But also here comes Ivy Simmons in lane 3.
And in lane 4, Manuel Lopez had an amazing pullout to get back into it there.
Cho in lane 1 also making a move here. Let's see what happens at the 50.
It's going to be Guy.
28.62.
28.36 for Guy.
Yep.
Ivy Simons is in that second spot with 28.62. Too close to call right now because here comes a hard charge from Jason Tillotson in 5. He's going to turn right with Guy Cameron, or Cameron Guy, excuse me. Oh my goodness. Here comes Tillotson. Here comes Ivy Simons. I'm going to say Tillotson's going to get him.
And it's going to be Tillotson taking first with a 1:00.81. Second is going to be Simon with a 1:01.13, and taking third is going to be Cameron Guy with a time of 1:01.20.
Which will take us to Heat 2, the championship final of this boys 100-yard breaststroke. Lane number 1's Austin Sellers from Jesuit. And lane number 2. Lane number 2, Cameron Hilgenberg. David Lee is in lane 3. Michael Duderstadt is back in 4 for Mosley. Mitchell's Devin McCaffrey in 5. Andrew Wojcik is in 6. Pace has Nathaniel Thomas in 7. And all the way out in lane 8 on the right-hand side of the screen is Mosley's Michael Whitehead, the senior there, ready to make it happen in the 100 breast championship. As they whistle him up on the blocks. Top qualifier, we have a tie with Duderstadt and Devin McCaffrey. Both had 56.91s from the morning.
And they've already had it out one time, back and forth, earlier tonight.
Yep.
And here we go again.
Back into the boxing ring for the two of them.
Duderstadt in 4, McCaffrey in 5.
And they're going to tie for the opening 25 as they synchronize swim the 100 breast.
Also popping up is going to be lane 7 and 8. That's Thomas and Whitehead.
There is 0 separation right now. I think Duderstadt might out-touch him at the wall here. He does by 1800ths, 26.03 to 26.21. Duderstadt over McCaffrey. Duderstadt now has grown that lead out to the length of his hand, and now maybe half a body length on that pullout. As he's going to go in and collect a state championship again as Michael Duderstadt, 2 for the day, with a 55.08. McCaffrey second at 56.08, 1 second separation, and third is David Lee at 58.61.
And Mike, we're going to take a quick break.
Get some more awards out?
We're going to get some more awards out.
I don't think so. Oh yeah, award. They're the relay girls that did not get the memo over there.
And then guess what? When we do that, we're going to have a lot of fun, Mike, because we're going to finish it up tonight with relays.
I can't handle it. I'm going to need to get a, what do you take for heart? Do I need an aspirin or something?
No, you're fine, my friend, you're fine.
I'm overweight, Dave. Take it into consideration.
And so we're getting ready to get underway. Mike, and believe it or not, after we do awards here, we're down to relays for the evening.
And then more awards.
And here we go. We're going to start off, Mike, with the girls 100 backstroke. And there's the Alyssa Yambramal. Congratulations. Bronze medal.
Bobby Ingram
taking silver medal.
That girl's awesome.
And Mike, who took gold?
I'm going to turn back a page and tell you. It's going to be Elise Hahn with a 54.43.
Wow. Great swimmer. Congratulations, Elise Hahn. Love the sportsmanship. And guess what, Mike? We've talked about the girls. Let's talk about the boys now. 100 backstroke. So, Mike, tell me who's going to be walking up to the podium tonight for third?
What we have here is Ben Borgert of Gainesville. Is going to be the first guy we see come up and get a trophy here. He's going to get the bronze medal put around his neck. Ooh, consideration All-American. Second is Alex Daner. He's going to collect the silver. And our champion, Caleb Dressel, with a 50.08.
What?
Turn the page here. We've got the girls 100-yard breaststroke now. As they're doing the 8th through 4th place, we're going to have Leah Lombardi as our first award winner, as she took 3rd.
And this is, again, the girls 100 breaststroke.
So see Leah Lombardi should step up and get her bronze. Now Hannah Burns is going to come up and get the silver. State champion Megan Hala. She went out with a 29.94 opening
All
50
smiles.
and went a 102.95 in the 100 breast. That's fast. That's very, very fast. Just a little more than a second off of that Lindsay McKnight record from 2008. As we go to the boys' 100-yard breaststroke, as they announce 8 through 4, I'll tell you that the first we're going to see come up is David Lee. As he got the bronze from Stanton. have David Lee step up.
The silver going to Mitchell High School senior.
So the silver is going to go to Devin McCaffrey with a 56.08 as he steps up there.
And your state champion in the gentlemen's
Get a good handshake there with the guys. And Michael Duderstadt with a 55.08.
again, automatic All-American status, Wesley High School, Michael Duderstadt.
There he is.
to get
Congratulations.
his, gold medal and step up on the blocks. You can see a smartphone taking their picture. In front of our camera taking their picture. And as you said before, Dave, there's nothing left but the relays now.
That's exactly it.
We got the girls, Consi and champion 400 free relay, and the men's Consi and champion 400 free relay. And then the 2A swimming and diving is in the books for 2012.
You're exactly right. A lot of kids going back, happy about
Getting to make it back to school tomorrow. They'll get home late, but they got school tomorrow. No excuses, state champion or otherwise.
Oh, Mike.
Am I being ignorant right now?
No,
Naive?
maybe so.
Okay.
Now, some of these teams are traveling back up to the Panhandle, so it's going to be kind of...
I don't care. You get on that bus and you get to class.
Guess what, Mike? And we're coming up to the relays. Tell us who we got on the blocks.
Well, I'll tell you right now, because on lane 1, we're going to have Bartram Trail, Gainesville in 2, Sebastian River in 3. They're going to get told to stand again. Ponte Vedra in 4, Estero in 5, Seabreeze in 6, Forest Hill in 7, and Lando Lakes in lane 8, the far right-hand side of your screen. This is girls' 400-yard freestyle relay. 4 girls on a team, each of them swimming their fastest 100 freestyle. Consolation style right here. Teams 9 through 16. In the water. I'll reset it for you real quick again. Bartram Trail in lane 1, Gainesville in 2, Sebastian River in 3, Ponte Vedra in 4, Estero in 5, Seabreeze in 6, Forest Hill in 7, and Lando Lakes in lane 8. Fastest opening 50 is going to go to lane 3's Sebastian River with a 26.06.
And Sebastian River now continues on, Mike. They're going to be the leaders. But coming hard with them is going to be Gainesville over in lane 2. Now making a charge in lane 5 is going to be Ponte Vedra.
Ponte Vedra.
Vedra.
And another swim coach down here. Nova Southeast has a couple coaches right here below us. Nova Southeastern, I should say.
And still, everybody's trying to chase down Sebastian River. And Mike, I think the closest person going to do it is going to be Gainesville. Now they're within a half body length lead. And they're going to push and still go underneath the flags. It's going to be Sebastian River pushing off 120.72, 121.78, and that's Gainesville. That's also close. Mike, coming up in lane 8, Lando Lakes now has moved into that 3rd position.
Sebastian River is unrelenting now as they put that 3rd swimmer in the water.
Sebastian River will be the first to flip in. They're going to push off the wall. And right behind them is going to be Gainesville. And you can see the teammates there cheering on Sebastian River. Mike, I believe this is going to be Anchor Leg stepping up. first to get on the blocks is going to be Sebastian River, right behind him.
It's either the anchor leg or they've lengthened this event.
Sebastian River is going to go in first with a 2:47.52. Right behind him with a 2:49.17 is going to be Gainesville. And a 2:49.70. That's going to go to Estero.
Yes, sir. Correct.
And Estero might have moved into that second position. Let's see what happens. 50 to go, Mike. It's still going to be Sebastian River with the lead.
Insurmountable at this point, or requiring superhuman effort to overcome.
Estero's going to move into that second position, and Gainesville is trying to hold on to third. But here comes Pontevedra, and it's going to be taken first, Sebastian River. Second is going to be Estero with a 3:45.13, and third is going to be Seabreeze with a 3:46.47. Guess what? It's going to bring us to finals.
Heat 2 will be our A final, or championship final, in event 23, girls 400-yard freestyle relay. In lane 1, we're going to have Osceola. Lane 2 will be Suncoast High. Lane 3, Gulf Coast, getting up on the blocks already there. Lane 4, Childs from Tallahassee. Lane 5, Martin County's back after winning a relay earlier. Got their moose symbols up on their head with the antlers there. Holy Names is in 6, trying to make up for that second spot earlier. Clay High School is in 7, and Cape Coral out in lane 8, the far right-hand side of your screen. Up on the blocks, clapping their hands, getting loose. And we're ready for a girls 400 free relay championship final. Quiet in the house. Dave, keep it down.
I'll try to keep it down for you.
There we go.
And there they go. Childs has the best seed time, 3:31.03, Mike.
Oh my goodness, by not even a close margin. Almost 5 seconds, over 5 seconds.
And they're going to be the ones first pushing off the wall. Right behind them is going to be lane 5, Martin County, and also jump up to Gulf Coast in 3.
I often like to jump up to Gulf Coast as often as I can.
And everybody's trying to chase down Childs. 24.98, 50 split. And Mike, she's going to enjoy a half body length lead. And second leg of the swim is 51.30. Childs is going to be your leader now by a full body length. Sitting second is going to be Martin County over in lane 5. Then you jump up 2 lanes, and that's going to be lane 6, Holy Names.
When you go out to a 1.4 second lead on the first leg, that's how you have a 5 second better seed time coming into an event like this.
1:16.58. Mike, great wall work there by Martin County in 5.
Yeah, that wall work has kept them in this so far, as they've had some great push-offs. And underwaters there. But it's still a little more than a body length lead as Childs goes to hand it off to their third swimmer over Martin County. And Martin County has more than a body length lead over the battle for third.
And Mike, there they go. They're transitioning in now.
This third swimmer for Martin County is reeling that lead back in to a body length on Childs.
There's our split time for 1:43.29. There's going to be our leaders. And Mike, now, as you can see, Childs is starting to pull away over in lane 4.
And here comes the anchor now as Childs touches in with a 2:37.77. And then Martin County 2:41.39, so almost 4 seconds as Gulf Coast holds down that third spot at 2:42.50.
2:37.77 is going to be your leader with Childs. Martin County right there with him, trying to reel in some ground here. State record 3:23.94, Mike.
Yeah, I don't think that's in play. They're going to get closer than they did this morning, but she'd have to swim a 21 flat to do that in this final 50. There's the record now with about 10 yards to go.
Great job there as Childs touches in. Congratulations. They're going to take first, 3:29.71. Taking second is going to be Martin County. Final time of 3:32.89. Third is going to be Gulf Coast with a 3:36.26. There's a shot of 1 through 8. And Mike, we've talked about the girls. Let's talk about the boys coming up.
We're going to have the consolation first.
They're whistling them up to the blocks.
In lane 1, we have Nice High School next to Archbishop McCarthy in 2. Robinson is in lane 3. Jesuit is in lane 4. Gulf Breeze is in lane 5. With Harmony High School in lane 6. Washington is in lane 7. And in lane 8, all the way to the far right side of your screen, is Sebastian River. And there they are, jumping up on the blocks.
And we're underway, Mike.
We are 4 by 100 in this men's consolation 400 free relay. And to be honest, Dave, in my opinion, anybody who's here this weekend is already a champion.
You're exactly right.
It's not easy to get here. It's very tough to get through a high school season. Not to mention a lot of these guys are club swimmers, and then you've got your conferences and districts and regions, and you got to keep making it through the filter to get here.
Sebastian River is going to push off the wall 3:25.01. Holding second is going to be Gulf Breeze. And Sebastian River, Mike, looks like they're going to be your leaders here. Oh, no. It's going to be Jesuit over in lane 4. Coming with them is going to be lane 3, Robinson. And that's how close it is right there. As you can tell, lanes 4 and 3 are battling it out. Oh, so close. And there this time, 1:39.16 is Jesuit. They're going to be our leaders. As they're pushing hard off the wall. And Jesuit and Robinson in lanes 3 and 4. And there you see Jesuit's going to have pretty much almost a half a body length lead, with Robinson right there with them. Jesuit stroke for stroke. And they're going to push off, and Jesuit now prepares for transition. And they're going to transition right there with a 2:29.31, 2:36.61 is going to be Robinson. And Jesuit now is starting to pull away. As you can see, the teammates are starting to pull. Mike, it's a little bit more than a half a body length lead.
It is too close to call at this distance, though, with 35 yards to go. He's being reeled in. Robinson and Jesuit are going to turn together with 25 left.
Oh, wow. Robinson now is trying to find, and look at there, they pop up, and Robinson has just a small bit of a lead, and now starting to pull away. And they go underneath the flags, and it's going to be Robinson taken first with a 3:16.17. Taking second is going to be Jesuit with a 3:17.10. And touching third will be Gulf Breeze with a 3:19.94. Well, Mike, it's time for our final event, our final heat tonight.
It is going to be our championship final of the men's 400-yard freestyle relay. Lane 1 will have Childs. Barron Collier is in lane 2. Mosley in lane 3. That's the Gainesville Canes in lane 4. Boleyn Jesuit is in lane 5. Fort Myers is right there in lane 6. He knows he's on camera. Lakewood Ranch is in 7, ready to race. And the far right side of your screen are the Ponte Vedra Sharks. Championship, and this is going to wrap up the 2A championship this year and FHSAA on FHSAA Network.
And there they go. And Mike, going out to an early is going to be Lakewood Ranch over in lane 7. Wow. Mike, Lakewood Ranch now is going to enjoy a 50 lead.
22-24 is good enough for Lakewood Ranch, over 22-58 for Gainesville. And that lead is growing, Dave, in the water.
You're exactly right. Lakewood Ranch is starting to pull away.
But then on a massive turn comes Childs in 1.
You're exactly right.
And then Gainesville again in 4.
You can see over in lane 7, 4, and 1.
It's still going to be Lakewood Ranch's 46-45, just ahead of Gainesville's, no, I'm sorry, Childs 46-69 in 1. But here comes Gainesville back right in the middle of the pool. It is 3 wide in 1s, 4, and 7. And trying to get back into this is Mosley. And not to be forgotten is Boleyn Jesuit in 5. Now I believe there's 7 swimmers within a body length of one another.
And there's a great shot there of our swimmer for
And Gainesville now,
Jesuit,
I believe, is your leader in 4.
And you can see right now all the action in the middle of the pool with Gainesville starting to pull away.
But they've got to give it over to this 3rd swimmer. 134.72 is good enough for Gainesville to lead Boleyn Jesuit. Fort Myers at 136.30. No, all the way over in lane 1. It's right, Childs 136.30. 136.93 is Fort Myers. That race for 2nd and 3rd is very close right now, but Gainesville continues to lead out 158.26. Now over Boleyn Jesuits at 159.77. As they race to hand it to the anchor leg, Gainesville holds on to a body length lead over Boleyn Jesuit.
And as you can see, Gainesville still holding that lead, but here comes Boleyn Jesuit.
Lots of points in these relays up for grabs to wrap up the night. Great start for Boleyn Jesuit.
2:23.76, Mike, is Gainesville. You can see Jesuit right there with him with a 2:25.97.
And what was a full body length lead is now a half and shrinking with every stroke of the Boleyn Jesuit swimmer. They're going to be tied together as they go
50 to go.
246.06, 246.10, 400s, and Boleyn Jesuit pulls in the lead.
And there's a battle right there between Gainesville and Belen Jesuit.
Half a body length and growing for Belen Jesuit as they swim to the wall to collect the state championship in the 400 free relay.
And you can see the crowd going wild, and it's going to be Belen Jesuit, congratulations, taking first with a time of 3:09.69. Second is going to be Gainesville with a 3:11.70. And taking third is going to be Fort Myers with a 3:16.99. Or sorry, 3:12.98. Apologize for that.
That's going to wrap it up. Now we're going to see some awards for those relays we just saw and get some team scores.
You see some kids. You know what? That's what the fun part of the meet is. The kids have had a hard day, hard night of finals, and now just sitting back and just having a great time on the starting blocks.
Yeah, this song was pretty popular at Regions last weekend as well. If they can't pick it up, I'll tell them that it's Gangnam Style. If they can't already tell that from how the girls were dancing.
And here we go, Mike. We're getting ready to have the awards.
I cannot wait. This will be the girls' first 400-yard freestyle relay. If I had $1 for every pair of furry boots in this building right now,
I know.
I'd have like a lot of dollars.
These numbers clear enough? 877-339.
Okay.
You can always call it like for the rest of the weekend. Your first call then call me.
Gulf Coast High School getting announced now as the bronze winners. That's Gulf Coast High School stepping up with the bronze medals. Hugs for one another. Now you'll see Martin County High School stepping up to get the silvers. And we may see their moose antler signal here when they get together. We've seen a couple times today when they've all gotten together. See if they do that for us. Maybe for some pictures. As now Childs High School, the state champions, step up with their gold medals. Hugs all around. Childs out of Tallahassee. I believe they won the 200 freestyle to start the meet off too, so they've bookended this meet with state championships on the relay. There's a little sample of the one-handed moose antlers up there. This is a great shot of the 3 fastest 400 freestyle relays in the state in 2A high school swimming this year.
Mike, I know we're getting ready now for the awards for the
relays. Yeah, they're
for the 400 men's relays.
They're going to announce the 8 through 4 first here. Coach Terry Mall down there.
Oh, they're holding this out.
I don't think the I think the in-house announcer was waiting on a results page. I could have helped him out.
Oh, there we
That's
go.
a good shot there. That's the Childs team, state champion, I believe, in the 200 free and 400 free. I don't know if the team members are all the same, but the school did win it. That was the 400 free winning team. The bronze now for the men.
There we go.
Fort Myers High School. Stepping up on the blocks now with their bronze medals. I'm guessing green is a good school color for Fort Myers.
Yeah, don't lean too far back, guys. The headset. It's amazing. The podium is built for 3 individuals, not massive relays.
Well, there's the silver now going to Gainesville Canes, stepping up, getting their silver medals.
That was a great race.
Absolutely.
Great race between the Gainesville Canes.
And now your state champion, the men's Belen Jesuit relay for the 400 freestyle. As they announce the individuals, they're getting their gold medals and climbing to the top spot on the podium.
Congratulations.
There's Julian Ballestas. We saw him a couple times tonight, very fast. Thank him for putting his name on his shirt for me. Trying to make room from up there. Everybody hug. Work together. These guys are all big in the shoulder.
Team effort here.
Guy in the back got up first. Now he can't be seen by mom. There we go.
Great job there. Congratulations to Jesuit.
They can all have a day off tomorrow. Ask your club coach. And I believe I've seen the trophies rolled out, Dave, so we should be seeing some team awards now.
Oh, here we go. We're ready for them. Washington High School.
In 6th place, 88 points,
6th place.
I couldn't hear what they said.
With 140 points, Gulf Coast High School.
Gulf Coast took 5th.
Got 5th. But this is the ladies' side.
In 4th place, ladies side of the scoreboard, holy names of Tampa.
Holy names.
All right, Mike, it's time for.
142. Martin County takes 3rd for the ladies.
The runner-up team with 161 points.
Very close scoring, 161. Suncoast takes 2nd.
And number 1 in the ladies swimming and diving state champions with 300.
You gotta guess Childs.
I'm guessing so. Childs High School, and there we go.
Childs wins state championship for the women.
Congratulations to Childs.
Great swims. Those relays are a lot of points. You get those. You see Suncoast. That's Suncoast stepping up there now to get their silver. Don't be fooled by the Texas swimming sweatshirt. I know Fabi up there in the top right, Fabiana Ingram.
That's right.
Friends of my daughter. 3rd year in a row for Childs. That's a winning tradition, Dave. At 3, I call it a tradition.
That's right.
2, 3, tradition.
In 8th place is Fort Lauderdale with 82 points.
That's 8th place, Fort Lauderdale. Robinson
So now
is 7th. It's the men's.
this is
the men's. They're showing Childs get up there now.
okay.
Lakewood Ranch takes 6th for the men with 88.
These are the ladies champions. Childs stepping up with their gold medals.
Fort Myers takes 5th for the men, 102. Barron Collier is 4th from Naples. Gainesville takes 3rd for the men's with 135 points.
The runner-up team on the gentlemen's scoreboard, Mosley with 151.
And Mosley, that's here. Mosley took 3rd.
Mosley 2nd with 151, the runner-up.
The state champions on the gentlemen's side of the scoreboard,
Belen Jesuit Prep takes 1st.
Belen Jesuit, I believe 221 I heard points. Wins it for the men, and they're your state champion. On the men's side, and I believe that is
Joe, you're cutting off her head.
So is that?
I believe that
Is that
right there is
Mosley?
Mosley.
That's Mosley
Yeah.
sitting 2nd.
Joe, listen up. Joe.
There we go. It's a great shot.
Congratulations to Mosley High School. Takes 2nd.
And waiting in the wings is Belen Jesuit to come up and collect the Champions Trophy and the medals that go with it. Had a great meet today.
And here comes Belen Jesuit now stepping up to the podium.
And again, congratulations. Thank you for cleaning up in your area.
That's it, folks. So on behalf of Mike Kennedy and David Van Buskirk, so long, everybody.
Thank you, Dave.